Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's coverage is brought to you by
Orsini's Home Store, Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Cody's Auto Body, The Palace Lounge, CMA Honda, the Berkeley County Health Department, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Hagerstown Ford, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, CMA Chrysler Dodge, WVU East, the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, RAI Properties, Parsons Ford, Rocks, John Hardy, Gary Kelly Allstate, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team, so let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
We welcome you in here to the pregame show. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith here, as we get set for Shepherd Rams football. The Rams on the road today against the East Stroudsburg Warriors. I'm Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Colin McLaughlin is our producer here on the pregame show, which is brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit whmsystems.com. Travis, as we take a look at this matchup between Shepherd and East Stroudsburg, it's an interesting one. East Stroudsburg having a tremendous season. The Rams have lost back-to-back, have lost 3 of their last 4. It's an uncharacteristic season for them. But for East Stroudsburg, this is a program that's been trending in the right direction under Coach Terwilliger, and that appears to be continuing to be the case as we head into this season. They're having a fantastic year and looking to make a spot in the playoffs. So Shepherd trying to play spoiler today.
Absolutely. You look at East Stroudsburg, and they're building us on the strength of having a successful season last year, going 9-3 overall last year. This year they have raced out to an 8-1 start. They are 5-1 in the conference, and their offense has just been simply red hot this year, averaging just a tick over 36 points per game. So that Shepherd defense is certainly going to have a tough task today, trying to slow down that offensive attack that's going to be led by East Stroudsburg's quarterback, Sean McTaggart, who's also having a whale of a season so far. So should be an entertaining game today. And like you said, Shepherd in that position to play spoiler, which is going to be unfamiliar for Shepherd. So let's see if they embrace it today.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how the Rams are able to do. Obviously, it's been a tough year for them. It's been a season where coming off of that double overtime loss to Bloomsburg a week ago, just losses that this program is not used to getting, and a 4-loss season hasn't happened since 2009, so it's just not the kind of year that the Rams would be expecting or are used to, but at this point now they have 2 games left to try to at least put together a winning season.
They do, and I think one of the things that they're going to have to do in today's game is play with some energy, play with a sense of urgency. That's something that's kind of been noticeable here the past couple of weeks. Shepherd kind of looks like they're a tired football team, like they're kind of lethargic. They get off to slow starts. They've fallen behind in a couple of these games here recently where they've had to try to claw themselves out of that pit and have a battle at the end, and sometimes when you play catch-up, it catches up with you. So it's going to be important for Shepherd to get out to an early start today and have that offense out there having long, sustained drives, because you want to keep that East Stroudsburg offense on the sidelines. I think that's going to be the best defense today for Shepherd if they're looking to pull out the win.
All right, we'll take a break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from Shepherd Rams head football coach Ernie McCook. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers, or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Coaches' interviews are brought to you by Parsons Ford, located 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first, Parsons. Here for Shepherd Rams head football coach Ernie McCook. Coach, tough loss for your team in double overtime. What did you take away from the game?
It was a difficult loss. We're battling offensively and defensively. Just got to make some plays in the end. A game like that comes down just to several plays throughout the game. If you make them, you can change the outcome of what it was. It was a hard-fought game. I thought Bloom played extremely well. I wasn't real happy. Obviously disappointed with the loss. We've got to learn from it and move forward.
It's been kind of a difficult season to what the standard is at Shepherd, obviously, but you guys are still having a winning record so far. What's been some of the challenges of this season overall?
I think we've had to overcome some injuries. We've had to overcome some guys starting in new positions. So those are some of the struggles we've had. When new things when you have new things happen or you have challenges, you've got to overcome them, and we haven't done a good job with that. So we've got to figure out how to make the ordinary play extraordinary, be consistent in our play in all 3 phases. And work our butts off to try and steal a win on the road this week.
In that game last week, offense had some different looks to it a little bit. Are you expecting some more changes moving forward?
I think we're going to try and be as creative as we can offensively to be able to, move the football, be consistent, get first downs, and put the ball in the end zone.
In that game as well, the defense had some good moments. Had some tough moments there toward the end, but what were your takeaways from the defensive side of the ball?
I think our defense has played very consistent throughout the year. It's a game. We're in a very difficult conference. I think there's a lot of really good football coaches and good teams. They made plays all year long, and we just had a couple. That would be a couple of those plays I think you'd like to have back, and we would find a way to win. Everybody in the program's working hard. to try and, get through some difficult times, because this is different for Shepherd football. So we've got to keep grinding, and we'll get through this, and we'll come out better for it.
What do you think you've kind of learned most about your team through this tough stretch?
I think that we have some really good leadership. We have a lot of quality character in our program, and that's what I'm most proud about. I think guys come out every day, work hard, and are going to play hard on Saturdays.
East Stroudsburg this week, like you mentioned, it's another tough matchup. What are you seeing from them this year?
I think they're a really good football team, very dynamic on offense with the things that they do. They got great speed, running back and the receivers. Quarterback plays extremely well. They're big and physical on the O-line. Defensively, they've got a lot of guys that are returning that have been in the program. Coach Terwilliger has been building this team to be able to make a run at it from last year to this year, and that's why they're sitting where they are now. Really, position themselves for a playoff run.
All right, Coach, thank you. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Our coaches' interviews are brought to you by Parsons Ford, located 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
We're the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming. Nobody likes to be told, you need a lawyer. But that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover. So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation. Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons number one for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became number one by making you number one first. Parsons.
We welcome you back here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Nick Verzolini and Travis Smith in the studio here in Martinsburg as Shepherd gets ready to take on East Stroudsburg. Travis, the Warriors, as we said, having a tremendous season. Their one loss to Kutztown this year, 27-21. And as we look at this team, it's a high-powered offense led by redshirt junior quarterback Sean McTaggart, who we have seen over the last few seasons, and he continues to develop. And it's a big reason why this offense is so strong, is they've had that stability not only at the quarterback position, but at a lot of their skill positions as well. Running backs Tyreek Lewis and Tyre Mills have provided a nice spark in the backfield to go along with wide receivers John Siggins and Justin Cook. So it's a pretty veteran offense that has a lot of familiarity at their key positions, and a lot of guys that have been productive in the past for East Stroudsburg.
And you mentioned the wide receivers. The first name that's really going to jump off the sheet to you is John Siggins, coming off of a monster game last week. 8 catches, 239 yards, and 4 touchdowns, putting on a Jamar Chase-type performance last week for the Warriors. He was named All-PSAC East second team last year. Certainly going to be a big part of that attack. And you talk about McTaggart. Didn't play against Shepherd last year, although he did rack up 8 starts last year, and those games have really seemed to fuel his confidence coming into this year. Already completing 65% of his passes, 20 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, and he's also a running threat, averaging 4.4 yards a carry and has 4 touchdowns on the ground. So Shepherd, as with any defense, you're naturally going to have some issues with a mobile quarterback because most defenses aren't designed for that quarterback being that extra man running around out there. So it's going to have to be done in a variety of ways. One's are going to have to be disciplined in your rush lanes. You're not just going to be able to blitz like crazy off the edge because you're going to risk that chance of blowing contain. And if he gets outside and he's able to extend plays, that's when you're going to see those talented wide receivers really start to wreak havoc versus that Shepherd secondary. So certainly a big test for that defense. But like Coach McCook has said, the issue really hasn't been the defense for the most part from week to week. They have had some struggles since that second half of the Lockhaven game. They haven't been as dominant, but still a very tough unit, and in particular that secondary. So they're going to have a good challenge today and have an opportunity to really showcase their skill against a top-notch passing attack.
Yeah, you had those 2 weeks in there where you had the second half against Lockhaven. That wasn't the best, and the game against Westchester, which wasn't very good. But the last 3 weeks, even though you technically gave up 24 points to Kutztown, only 17 of those were given up by the defense. You give up 21 against Millersville and a double overtime game that was 14 at the end of regulation against Bloomsburg. So the defense has definitely played well. They've had some issues with some big plays, and I think that will definitely be a key today. But let's go ahead and take another break. On the other side of that break, we'll get into our player interviews. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Mommy, where does flavor come from?
Well, when people love food, they cook it on a Traeger grill. Meat, corn, even pie. And then the Traeger does the rest, which brings everyone to celebrate this beautiful thing that they've created. Because when you share delicious food with your friends, that's the flavor of life.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Drive More Days is back at Carter Myers Automotive. And this year, we'll keep you rolling with a $1,000 gas card. Visit any of our locations to take a test drive, and we'll enter you into a drawing to win a $1,000 gas card. With that kind of money, fill up at the pump for the rest of the year, completely on us. Stop in during Drive More Days for your chance to win a $1,000 gas card. Only at Carter Myers Automotive. Owners just care more.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at FordofHagerstown.com or HancockChevy.com.
Our player interviews are brought to you by the Murius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue or call 304-263-4343.
Here at Shepherd Rams safety, Gio D. Tolbert. Gio, so far it's been a great season for you. Just take us through your success this year.
Every year I always tell myself I just want to play football, you know what I'm saying? And Coach McCook, Coach Wright, Coach Klein have allowed me to come here and play football. You know what I'm saying? They prepare us every day, on and off the field. They make sure I'm good mentally, on and off the field, whether I have something going on back home or something going on here. You know what I'm saying? And just being able to put in that extra time. I call Coach Wright all the time. And whether it's the checks we have going on or just seeing how he's doing, you know what I'm saying? Just the relationship that I have with the coach has kind of allowed me to put in the film study and be comfortable in the field and make plays, and knowing that if something does happen, they have my back, you know what I'm saying?
It's been kind of a tough stretch for you guys over the last few weeks, double overtime loss last week. What did you take away from that from a defensive side?
Defensively, we just got to make the plays that come to us. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, everybody wants to be a superstar, but it's not everybody's game to be a superstar at all times. Sometimes I might have 10 tackles, sometimes I might have 2. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we got a little antsy, jumped the gun, but we're coming back this week, and we're going to win this game.
You've had some big hits throughout the season as well. You've kind of taken over that safety spot, which has been a great position for Shepherd over the last few years. Just what does that mean to you? And also, as a safety, you know, how important is it for you to play not only in coverage but play physical at the line of scrimmage as well?
Being able to be a part of this Shepherd defense and fall in line with some of the great safeties that we've had in the previous years, it just feels amazing. You know what I'm saying? I came here, I transferred here, and it's the trust that they gave me, and they're just allowing me to play the game that I play. You know what I'm saying? Allowing me to play the game how I play it. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like not with just me, but with me, Naeem, you got Dante, you got Clayton Batten, we all come together and we're just all like aggressive. And it brings the energy to the unit that makes everybody want to be aggressive. So it's amazing.
What's it been like to fit into the secondary this year? You mentioned some of those guys, and you all have that similar play style that you'll come up, you'll make tackles, and also have had, you know, success on the back end.
So this is, I mean, I don't know about, I can't speak for other teams, but this has been one of the most close-knit teams I've ever had with the secondary. Like, we go out to eat every Thursday. I talk to these guys on and off the field, whether it's about football, whether it's about life back home, girls, school, whatever it is. And even the guys that don't play, you know what I'm saying? We all are cool. We all talk to each other. We really love each other, you know what I'm saying? And when you have that connection where you can just bond and you truly care about each other, it allows us to mesh and play well together.
And it's a pretty deep group as well, and you guys fight for a lot of different time out there on the field. You'll see guys running in and off on defense. So how's that depth really helped you, especially with the secondary this season?
Depth is extremely important. I know you guys see us switch out on a lot of different personnels, even from D-line, linebackers to secondary, but secondary specifically, I mean, we got guys like Will Johnson, Mekhi Young, we got DeMarcus, Damir comes in when we do, we got guys all over the place. And having the depth allows us to put people in and play their strengths. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, but, like, we all come together and we, whatever he can't do, we got somebody else who can do it, you know what I'm saying? So we got a pass set, we might put in Naeem, but if we got a run set, we put in a bigger body like Mekhi Young. We just all feed off each other's strengths and weaknesses, and, you know what I'm saying, that 25, 25, 25, 25, it all equals up 100%, so we all come together and just put that 100% together on the field.
East Stroudsburg this week, it will be a big challenge for the secondary, especially. They're an explosive offense. What are some things that you've seen from them?
They do a lot of trades. They do a lot of trade from this side of the field, this side of the field. They do a lot of FIB, but they don't usually run a lot of stuff out of FIB. They do a lot of Trojan. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to eye discipline every week, every day. Every week we've played, it comes down to eye discipline. And this week is big on it because we got to be good on our cues and our keys. And as long as the DBs and really everybody come in and we lock in our eyes, we will dominate East Stroudsburg on Saturday.
All right, Gio, thank you. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Here at Shepherd Rams Center, James Bell. James, been a tough couple of weeks for your team, but what did you take away from the loss last week?
You know, same thing you take away from every loss, and that's a lesson, you know. We learn a lot from every single loss, and I don't learn necessarily as much, you know, being a fifth-year senior, but the young guys out here, you see them learn, you see them embrace the process, and you see them keep going, which is the biggest thing. It's really easy to fold in on yourself as a program, but you got to continue to keep growing, and that's what I've seen as we've gone through this.
And for you, like you said, you're one of the seniors, one of the leaders on this team. Just how important has it been this season for you guys that are the veterans to keep those young guys in check?
You know, we're done after this, so it's all about passing down the leadership, passing down the standard, making sure they know what's expected of them and making sure they know how to bring it every day. You don't necessarily need to keep them in check. They keep themselves in check. It's all about teaching them how to keep themselves in check and teaching them the right way to do that.
And for you as well, being the center, that makes you kind of the leader, I guess, of the offensive line in some ways, usually making a lot of calls and stuff like that. You've had some injuries up front. What have you seen from some of those young guys that have had to step in?
I mean, all the young guys, I think, have stepped in well. Caleb Herb has started probably 5-6 games for us. He's done a great job. Jaden Perez stepped in for a little bit. Lucas Michael stepped in. All the guys that step up come to practice every day, and they work their butts off, and it shows on Saturday. They're all ready. They're all ready for when it's their time to be called, and they're all ready on the sideline when it's time.
And it was senior day for you guys on Saturday as well. Obviously not the result you wanted, but just for this group of offensive linemen, you, Wyatt, Ty Lucas, Curtis Jefferson, that have all been around for a long time. Just what was that like to play your final home game with them and just overall this season going out there and one last time?
Yeah, it's bittersweet. It's a sad moment for all of us, but then we had a long week of reflection between us, and we have had a lot of reflection this season. We've had a lot of really good moments on this field. We can't let one negative moment negatively impact how we view it. Senior day isn't necessarily about us. It's about all of our supporters that were able to walk out with us and all those great people. I'm very close with Kurt's family, Wyatt's family. We're all close, tight-knit, so it's very nice to be able to honor those supporters as they come and honor us,
This week against East Stroudsburg, what are some things you're seeing from their defense?
They're a very sound defense. They're going to stick to what they know. They're a 4-2 front, and they play that 4-2 front extremely well. Same defensive scheme they played last year. We know what we got to do. We know we got to execute. When the Rams execute, we feel that we're one of the better teams, and we feel no one can play with us, so we just got to come out and execute the way we know how.
All right, James, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Our player interviews are brought to you by the Murius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue or call 304-263-4343.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. When did turkey trots become a thing? It used to be that those elastic waistbands were to see how many trips you can make back and forth to the kitchen for seconds, not around the block. Now people are getting up and running on Thanksgiving. Unless it's a beer run between games, I'm not interested. Sit your ass down for some food and leave the running for next year. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body. That's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
Welcome back here on the pregame show as we get set for East Stroudsburg taking on Shepherd here on Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Let's get some keys to the game, which are brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Center, leading healthcare here and everywhere. Travis, start with Shepherd, and then we'll hear about East Stroudsburg's keys.
All right, well, the keys for the Shepherd Rams today, one, they have to get after the quarterback. That's going to be something that's going to be very important because that's going to help you get some turnovers. But East Stroudsburg, they've done a pretty good job of protecting their quarterback. They've only allowed 5 sacks so far this year. So if they're able to make him move around a little bit more, that's going to help out the secondary and possibly force a turnover. That's going to be important for Shepherd today. Also, it's going to be a lot on the Shepherd defense today. They're going to have to hang tough in the red zone. East Stroudsburg, they have been red hot in the red zone, 89% success rate in the red zone. So Shepherd's certainly going to have to knock that down some. And Shepherd on offense, going to have to establish the run. That's going to keep that East Stroudsburg offense on the sidelines, and it's also going to help set up the play-action pass. We've seen in games so far this year that you really don't want to be one-dimensional, and certainly don't want to be one-dimensional versus a team as good as the Warriors. And also that been solid all year long, bright spots all year long, but the Shepherd special teams units, they're really going to have to step up, make some plays today. Teams have just been avoiding kicking the ball to Miles Greer like the plague, which I can't blame them, but I think it's going to be something important today that Shepherd's going to have to steal some type of big momentum plays and get some points other from their offense. The offense has been, fair to middling for the most part this year, but I think they're going to need some extra possession, some extra points today if they're looking to try to pull out a win today versus the East Stroudsburg Warriors.
Currently, there is a little bit of a delay in either the start of the game or in the start of the stream that we are receiving from East Stroudsburg. So, for now, we'll just keep an eye on it. I don't think, I'm presuming it is just a delayed start since they put it down as a 1:05 kick, which was already kind of a weird time. So we'll see here, but it is their senior day as well. So possibly some delays there with the senior day is what I would presume, and then the anthem and all that stuff. So we'll just continue to break down the matchup since we didn't have a ton of time to talk about some of the defensive players on each team. We kind of focused a lot on offense. So, Travis, as you look at this East Stroudsburg defense, a few names really stand out. First of all, though, linebacker Raymond Simmons IV. He's been around for a while. He's one of the better linebackers in the PSAC.
And you look at the game he's coming off of last week, had 7 tackles, 3 of those solo, also a pass breakup, but he's the leading tackler so far this year, so certainly a leader of that group, and you certainly like that out of your linebacking core. 71 tackles, 34 solo, also 4 tackles for a loss and a sack, so he is a guy that is a threat in that tackle box. Also some good guys in that secondary. You have Noah Hambrick and Everett Dingle, also very talented, so it's going to be a lot of people that are able to fly around and make plays for that defense, and they just have an outstanding linebacking core because Matthew Davis, the 6'2", 225-pound grad student, also, they have him listed as a backup on their depth chart, but a guy that certainly rotates in a lot and plays a lot for the East Stroudsburg defense. He had a good game versus Shepherd last year, had 5 tackles, 4 of those solo. Also, coming into today's game, 52 tackles, 29 solo, and also an interception. So not only is he a tough run defender, also has that ability to make plays in space and pick off passes. And for a quarterback of Lekpal's height, we know Shepherd likes to use the quick passing game, so that's something where you're going to have to keep an eye on the tall, rangy Matthew Davis because he's a guy that can get up, get his hands into those passing lanes and disrupt some things.
Yeah, Shepherd's had some issues with that in some of their recent losses, so it'll be key today to prevent those kind of things. When you look at the Shepherd defense, it's a unit, like we said, that's played pretty well all season. A guy we just talked to, G.O.D. Tolbert's been one of the leaders in the secondary, and the secondary will face some challenges. We talked about the wide receiving core for East Stroudsburg and Travis. The last few games, they've had some big plays that they've been giving up, but we know there's talent there, there's experience there, and they should be able to match up well, I would think, if they bring their A game. Just got to communicate well on the back end.
And some of the problems have been with some type of breakdown when Shepherd uses that cover 2 defense. So maybe something where Shepherd, they have the talent and the experience on the back end, maybe a little bit more man coverage might help them avoid some of those miscommunications, because that was something that KJ Riley was able to take advantage of early on, was that there was a miscommunication. Well, actually, he just did a good job of keeping the safety in the middle of the field when they scored that first touchdown. Shepherd was in that cover 2, and naturally there's going to be that gap between where the corner is sitting down in the flats and that safety is supposed to be helping out over the top. The issue was KJ Riley did a very good job of keeping that safety towards the middle of the field, and that way he was able to hit that strike down the sideline for the first score, and it kind of set the tone for the day. So I like to see that. I think the big money matchup, the matchup that everybody's really going to have their eyes on, is going to be Dante Harrison, and see if he gets that one-on-one assignment going up against John Siggins coming up for East Stroudsburg. So you got Harrison, 6'1", going up against Siggins, 6'3". So curious to see who's going to win that matchup, and that could be the matchup that determines the outcome of today's game.
It appears now the game has started. Unfortunately, though, there hasn't been a stream sent to us yet, so we apologize for those technical difficulties on the East Stroudsburg side of things. But currently it is a first down, or now a second down and 10 as McTaggart's pass was incomplete and Miles Greer made the tackle, or was in coverage. So we do apologize for these technical difficulties. For now, I believe probably the best thing for us to do would probably be to take a break, just because me reading the play-by-play probably isn't going to be the best, I would presume. So
you gotta do a dramatic reading of the play-by-play.
Well, they just hit a big 55-yard pass, so that's not good. But anyway, Colin, go ahead and roll like our next break of about a minute or two, and hopefully things get fixed. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Mayhem is everywhere. I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Drive More Days is back at Carter Myers Automotive, and this year we'll keep you rolling with a $1,000 gas card. Visit any of our locations to take a test drive, and we'll enter you into a drawing to win a $1,000 gas card. With that kind of money, fill up at the pump for the rest of the year, completely on us. Stop in during Drive More Days for your chance to win a $1,000 gas card. Only at Carter Myers Automotive. Owners just care more.
We are the Skinner brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Drive More Days is back at Carter Myers Automotive, and this year we'll keep you rolling with a $1,000 gas card. Visit any of our locations to take a test drive, and we'll enter you into a drawing to win a $1,000 gas card. With that kind of money, fill up at the pump for the rest of the year, completely on us. Stop in during Drive More Days for your chance to win a $1,000 gas card. Only at Carter Myers Automotive. Owners just care more.
Thank you. Sorry, I thought you were telling me that we had the stream. I was getting excited. But there has been a touchdown scored by East Stroudsburg, so it is 6-0. I'm guessing they made the PAT. I haven't seen an update there yet, but yes, they did. So 7-0 East Stroudsburg. McTaggart was able to run in from 1 yard out. Take a look back at that drive for the Warriors. It was a total. It was a successful drive. The big play on that drive, we talked about it there, the 55-yard pass to Siggins, who we knew would be an impact player For the Warriors, they then completed a pass to their tight end. Lewis ran up the middle for 4 yards, and then McTaggart ran it in from 1 yard out. So Warriors already on the board 7-0, and we hope here to get some sort of feed from this game. Again, we apologize for these technical difficulties. The reason why we're not at the field doing the game ourselves is due to just travel. It just didn't work with having to get the equipment from the long trip last night to Hurricane. It just wasn't going to work out, unfortunately. So this was the plan, but unfortunately it seems like they are now having technical difficulties at their field. So yeah, I mean, I guess a positive is, it's not really our fault, but obviously
you're a glass half full kind of guy. That's what I like about you.
No one can watch the game. So when you look at it that way, it's not as bad, I guess. I don't know. But I do apologize, obviously. And it's tough. But Shepherd's drive has started. I guess we can provide a little bit of updates here every once in a while. They did complete a pass for 13 yards to Fisher, and now Malachi Brown has ran for 3 yards, so the Rams have moved the ball to their own 40-yard line. It's a 1st down and 10, or it was 1st and 10, so it's now should be 2nd and 7 for the Rams. Again, here hoping for this stream to come back, or to start to work here soon. But again, it doesn't seem to be the case right now. So Colin, my only other thought would be possibly trying the PSAC website and seeing if it's working there, but not on the East Stroudsburg website would be my only other thought, but it seems to just take you to the same thing, I'm guessing. Okay. Well, Rams have just had a pass for a 1 yard loss on the play to Cam Dorner. So they got 3rd and 8 for Shepherd from their own 39-yard line. Travis, what'd you see on that play?
Not much, but that was something that we did see last week. Was Shepherd was throwing a lot of passes to the sideline, a lot of quick passes, just getting the ball out of Lek Powell's hands quickly. When they were able to attack downfield, they had success. We're starting to see Jeremiah Taylor, who had a bit of a funk there in the middle of the season, but he's beginning to emerge from that. And he had that big catch in the first overtime. So Shepherd certainly has the firepower to attack a little bit more down the field, but again, you run into issues because the more you try to attack downfield, the more pressure that's going to put on your offensive line. And Lek Powell has had his troubles when teams are able to get pressure. So it's kind of, you have to choose your spots of when you want to attack downfield, but I think that's something that you're going to have to do because the East Stroudsburg defense, they're not going to give you enough to survive on underneath. I think you're going to have to force the issue. And again, if you're going to take that underneath stuff, you're relying on a couple of things. One, you're relying on run after the catch. So if East Stroudsburg is able to rally up to the football and tackle well in space, that's going to be difficult, but then you got to have a counterpunch ready. So if you're able to hit a couple of underneath passes, then you have to mix in something where you have like a double move or things of that nature where if the defense is starting to suck up a little bit, maybe you can pop something over the top. But again, those type of plays take a little bit of extra time and puts a lot of pressure on your offensive line, who has had to deal with some injuries. And at this point in the year, everybody's a bit banged up. So again, you got to pick your spots, but it's something where you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone if you're going to try to knock off East Stroudsburg today.
And again, Shepherd's going to be forced to punt as on 3rd and 8. The Rams threw just a 3-yard pass to Jeremiah Taylor to the 42. And then before the punt, it was a delay of game, so Shepherd will move it back to the 47-yard line. And that continues a trend for the Rams this season. They're 102nd in the entire country for Division II college football on 3rd down percentage. So they have struggled, to say the least, but Ryan Barrick boots 162 yards to the East Stroudsburg 1. So that's impressive.
And that's something good to hear because Barrick, who has been one of the bright spots all year long, averaging just a tick over 43 yards per punt. But last week struggled. They were going with more trying to use him as like directional kicks and only averaged 34 yards per punt. And that was enabling Bloomsburg to set up with some pretty good field position. So unusual for Barrick not to be like one of the more outstanding players you see out there on the field. So again, you got a punter with a big leg. Cut him loose. Let him bomb that thing down the field. You have good coverage. You have good guys going down the field and that can tackle. So there's no reason to try to get cute with it and use directional kicks. Let him do his thing. Put the pressure on that punt returner to try to field a big-time punt. That's going to be difficult enough. And I understand that it may be some trepidation about doing that this week because East Stroudsburg certainly has some explosive players when it comes to the kick return game. And Justin Cook, also Deontay Crawford.
Rams help them out, though, with an offside penalty, so that will move the ball 5 yards. They're spotting it at the 4, even though the ball was at the 1, so that's interesting. But anyway, 2-yard run on first down and 5. Miles Greer makes the tackle for the Rams. Bring it out to the 7-8 yard line, depending on where the spot actually is. They're saying the 8, so we'll go with the 8. Again, unfortunately, we could not make it to the field today due to our situation with Martinsburg football last night being on the road and being in Hurricane, West Virginia. So in order for us to get all the equipment and get somebody back here, it just wasn't really possible, as well as us being at the field. I mean, obviously Travis and I could have made it to the field, but somebody would have had to meet us with the equipment, and also somebody would have had to drive back overnight. It just would have been kind of difficult for those guys. So unfortunately, our backup plan was we would take the stream, but they are having issues there at East Stroudsburg with the stream, like we've done several times this season, which it has worked. It hasn't always been necessarily what we wanted, but it's worked. Today, not working, though, and we do apologize for that, as the Warriors run the ball for 1 yard, 3rd down and 2. So then on 3rd and 2, Shepherd gets a stop. McTaggart throws it to Siggins, incomplete. So Rams will get good field position here after East Stroudsburg will punt from their own 9-yard line. So, live stream has started, so we'll pick up now, which isn't too bad. It's only 7-0. We haven't missed too much of it. So, good news here. We appreciate you sticking with us if you've done that so far. Like I said, you didn't really have another option. So, but we're just about ready to get started whenever Colin can get it into our system to get it to work. Apologize here. It kind of makes it a little bit difficult, but I can update you now live here as we have a catch across the... So must have been some sort of penalty on Shepherd or something, as East Stroudsburg is continuing its drive now to the 26-yard line. So Warriors driving, and Colin has it pulled up, I believe. May have to zoom it in manually, Colin, if it won't let you go full screen. So just throw it on the screen, I guess. You figured out that last week. Good job, Colin. But anyway, 2nd down here for the Warriors. 2nd and about 2, it looks like. They'll run it with McTaggart. McTaggart's got a big hole down the near sideline, and he will be knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line. But big run by Sean McTaggart of the East Stroudsburg Warriors, and now you're picking it up a few seconds behind me, so I'll try to get it with everybody else. I'm behind you possibly. I'm not sure. Just had the replay, so yeah, I think I'm somehow behind. Or no, I'm ahead. Okay. Sorry about this, folks. Obviously, this isn't the ideal way to do the broadcast, but we're happy now that it is working and we can bring you some coverage here. All right, here we go. 1st down and 10 for the East Stroudsburg Warriors at midfield. McTaggart in the shotgun. We go play action, dump it down in the flat, complete, but just a short gain. Rams in the area with Miles Greer to make the tackle. Nice tackle in space that time. Pass hauled in on that completion by ESU's number 15, Ben Heiser, or Bo Heiser, the tight end.
There you go, the 6'1", 240-pound junior, coming off of a 3-catch performance last week, has 13 catches on the year, so they will use him. Not a lot, but giving you some type of balance. You know you got the threats on the outside. If you can mix in that tight end, it really puts a lot of pressure on that defense and makes those linebackers in an uncomfortable position to try to cover him in space.
So no gain on that previous play. It's a 2nd down and 10, and McTaggart looking to throw. He steps up. Now we'll look to run and pulls it down, gets inside to about the 44-yard line before he's brought down on the play by Elijah Queen and Brody Carroll of the Shepherd Rams. Bring up a 2nd down. I'm sorry, 3rd down.
Shepherd did a good job of getting pressure, collapsing the pocket, but it was just a little gap there in the middle. And McTaggart, again, seeing some green space in front of him, was able to step up and make a possibly negative play and turn it into a positive play and setting him up for a much more third manageable.
Not a guy that I think they really let run a ton last year. It seemed like last year they were more of a pro-style offense, traditional offense, but they definitely have used his legs to their advantage this season. Here's a handoff, and the Rams stacking it up on a 3rd down and 4 as Mills was unable to get to the outside.
Well, he's run less this year, but he's run more effective this year. So 4 rushing touchdowns this year, averaging 4.4 yards a carry. And last year he had 72 carries, only 1 rushing touchdown. But again, coming in, just kind of feeling his way around an offense, only played 8 games last year. So somebody who certainly is benefiting from that experience.
Looks like a penalty working against the East Stroudsburg Warriors here.
Looks like illegal use of the hands is going to back him up a little bit.
So bring up 3rd down here once again. .321 to go in this first quarter. 7-0 East Stroudsburg after the big pass from McTaggart, and then he was able to run it into the end zone to get the Warriors on the board here first. But after the penalty there, it's going to make it a 3rd down and 14 from their own 41-yard line for ESU. Receivers head out to the wide side. That's Tyrese Brandon, the wide receiver to the far side for the Warriors for this 3rd and 14. We'll see how they attack it against the Shepherd defense. Cook is the receiver at the bottom of your screen once we get back to that wide shot. Some officials discussing some things here for this 3rd and 14. Give credit to Coach Terwilliger, who's done a nice job. Of course, he used to hold the Tyson Bagent Division II touchdown record. That Tyson broke the record against East Stroudsburg a few seasons ago, so that was definitely a cool moment when that happened. But long delay here on this penalty, not certain why.
And again, you mentioned that this East Stroudsburg team has really been built to peak for this year. A lot of grad students, a lot of seniors, just a veteran ball club, and they've shown that experience has paid off for them this year.
Here's a 3rd down and 14. Receiver goes in motion. And now here's the play. McTaggart steps up under some pressure, throws high and incomplete. Bring up a 4th down. Good coverage on the play by the Rams. Looked like possibly Miles Greer, the man in coverage for Shepherd, and will bring up a 4th and 14.
And good pressure that time by Elijah Queen, working up in the middle, even though the quarterback, he had to step up in the pocket. But you can tell if you just are able to get him off of that platform back there and make him move around a little bit more, maybe you can get an errant pass and possibly pick something off. So Shepherd defense, after giving up that initial drive, been able to find a foothold here the past couple of possessions.
So Adam Knoll will punt it away for the Warriors, and Greer stands back to return the punt. It's 7-0 East Stroudsburg here in this first quarter before a 4th down and 14. And the kick is away. Greer will let it bounce inside the 20 and roll down inside the 15 to the 11-yard line, and that's where Shepherd will take over.
And that was a dangerous play. The ball almost bounced into a Shepherd player on that last exchange. And again, Miles Greer, we know he's very dynamic with the ball in his hands, but something that I've always enjoyed, like watching him throughout the season, he is a very savvy football player. So he saw that ball getting close to a teammate, and he's out there directing traffic, letting his teammates know where the ball is. So that's just such a valuable asset to have a guy back there that deep. Although he has a tough responsibility himself just to field a punt, he's also keeping an eye out for his teammates and steering them out of danger.
Our first quarter is brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361 as the Rams run it up the middle there with Grant Swinehart, and he gets about a yard before being brought down by the ESU defense. First quarter also brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to fordofhagerstown.com. 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard carry. Receiver goes in motion, and they'll run it up the middle again, and this time Malachi Brown has a nice hole on the play and gets right to the first down marker. And they will give him the first down, so nice run there by Brown.
Good hole that time, and he's awfully tough to stop. When he's able to run north and south like that, certainly a home run threat with the ball in his hands, and going to be a big factor of today's success. If the Rams prove to be successful, certainly you know that running game is going to be very impactful. Going to have to be.
Handoff up the middle to Malachi Brown, and he takes it forward for positive yardage. So, nice run that time for Brown. Will bring up 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard carry.
So, again, you're able to get a chunk play like that on first down, setting you up with a 2nd and short. So now your whole playbook is open, and you see as Malachi Brown steps off the field to get a blow, you're able to bring in Jordan Barnett. So, again, a very talented running back room for this Rams team, and they're going to need them to come up big today.
And, Travis, this hasn't been a running game that's really gotten going the last few weeks, so we'll see if they can do that today. And here's a big hole for Jordan Barnett, and he has the first down for Shepherd, running off that left side behind Wyatt Pelicano and Curtis Jefferson, and it brings up a first down for Shepherd with 42 seconds to go in this first quarter.
That's always a good idea to run behind Wyatt Pelicano. Has certainly been a bright spot for the Rams this year. And we've seen the usage of Malachi Brown and Grant Swinehart kind of get tapered off here the past couple of weeks, but Jordan Barnett has been the player that's gotten a lot of the carries here recently, coming off of a 13-carry, 76-yard performance last week. He was averaging 5.8 yards per carry, so certainly a more physical presence in the running game when Barnett's out there.
Simmons made the tackle for ESU. Here's the toss play to Malachi Brown, and Brown has a little bit of a hole there to the outside as he's able to scamper forward for positive yardage, and that will pretty much do it here for the first quarter. This clock is still rolling on a 2nd down and 7 after a 3-yard gain, and after 1, it's East Stroudsburg 7, Shepherd nothing. We'll take a 1-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
My friends, it's Cody with Cody's Auto Body. Now, I love Old St. Nick as much as the next guy, but newsflash, it's November. The only spirit moving in me before Thanksgiving is the beer coursing through my veins. Before you start flinging your Christmas cheer all over everyone, and really in today's world, you should ask permission first. Stop by the shop and make sure your ride doesn't look like it was run over by a reindeer. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body. That's Cody's with a T for trust.
Drive More Days is back at Carter Myers Automotive, and this year we'll keep you rolling with a $1,000 gas card. Visit any of our locations to take a test drive, and we'll enter you into a drawing to win a $1,000 gas card. With that kind of money, fill up at the pump for the rest of the year, completely on us. Stop in during Drive More Days for your chance to win a $1,000 gas card. Only at Carter Myers Automotive. Owners just care more.
We welcome you back here to the studio here at East Stroudsburg. I almost said Rams Stadium, but we're definitely not there. Rams on the road. We're in the studio here before a 2nd down and 7 for East Stroudsburg, who leads Shepherd 7-0 here in the second quarter. As we just begin this second quarter, the teams have flipped the field. The Rams are on the 35-yard line. They're in 35, and Malachi Brown is the running back to the left of Lech Powell. And Powell will take the snap and hand it off to Brown, who gets about 2 yards before East Stroudsburg's there to make the tackle. Again, it's Simmons in there for the Warriors, as well as Lucas Skelly. Another grad student on this pretty veteran defense for East Stroudsburg. 3rd down and 5 here coming up for the Shepherd offense.
And Skelly, a very active defensive tackle. 35 tackles, 17 of those solo, 4 tackles for loss, and 2.5 sacks this year coming into today's game.
3rd down and 5. Powell looking to throw. Looking for a deep ball down the sideline and incomplete. Intended for Jeremiah Taylor. Good coverage on the play for East Stroudsburg.
T.J. Harris was one of the players there in the coverage. The redshirt senior coming off of a 4-tackle performance last week versus Shippensburg.
So I'll bring up 4th down and 5, and the Rams will be forced to punt once again, trailing 7-0. So, Travis, you saw some positive things on the drive for the Shepherd running game. They try a deep ball on the 3rd and 5, and pass falls incomplete. So, drive ends pretty quickly after some nice runs.
You like the early success running the ball, and that's something you got to stick with it, even though you're not like converting into first downs right now. But that running game is something where it's going to pay dividends down the road if you stick with it early and often. So, again, you're doing that not only to help your offense, you're doing it to help your defense. So don't get discouraged that you're not able to move the sticks just yet. It's just something where you're going to have to find that right way, the correct way to try to attack that defense passing the ball. And it seems to go from extremes with the Shepherd offense. Either they're going to do the dinks and dunks out towards the sidelines, or they take these massive deep shots down the field. Find some more intermediate targets, and that's going to be a little bit easier on your quarterback and not putting so much stress on him. Have something where they're working over the middle of the field and give him some easier throws to make, as opposed to trying to take those deep shots or the 50-50 balls down the field.
1st down and 10 for the East Stroudsburg Warriors, who send a receiver in motion from right to left. They'll hand it off, and Rams all over it. Makai Young leading the charge for Shepherd, as well as Matt Bednarski, the big nose tackle. So, good defense that time for the Rams. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. And if Shepherd can contain that running attack of East Stroudsburg, it will certainly help out quite a bit. And, of course, try to get that running game going offensively for Shepherd, who, as we mentioned earlier, has struggled tremendously on 3rd down this season. But here's a 2nd down for the Warriors. 7 seconds on the play clock.
Elijah Queen with the tackle. Good job.
Queen able to wrap it up there.
Because it looked like Lewis, he was initially stopped, and where he was going to be able to spin out of there. And the redshirt senior, very talented running back, was named All PSAC East 2nd team last year for the Warriors.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 for East Stroudsburg. 3rd and 9 with 12:53 to go in this second quarter. And with 3rd and 9, receiver going in motion again here for ESU. Kuoka coming in off the edge. It's a screen pass. It's complete underneath. Harold O'Neal makes the tackle. Pass complete to Tyreek Lewis, the running back, and he has the 1st down for the Warriors. Perfect play call in that situation there, Travis.
And again, they send a wide receiver in motion, and the defense chases. So it looks like they're going to do a bubble to one side, then they come back to the screen on the backside. And again, like you said, catching Shepard, trying to be aggressive, getting after the ball, and that just creates that nice separation between that defensive rush and where that coverage begins. And Lewis was able to do it from there. Only having 6 catches so far this year, but certainly seems to be a capable catcher out of the backfield.
Play action pass, and McTaggart wants another deep ball, going deep down the middle of the field for Siggins and incomplete.
Looked like Batten was there on the coverage. He was right there in his hip pocket, so certainly somebody that you're going to have to keep an eye on. And again, you don't like that matchup. Like, you need that safety back there. So it's something where it's going to be a lot of pressure on the Shepherd safeties to stay disciplined, because it looks like that's what they're trying to attack over the middle of the field. And you use those deep posts. If those safeties aren't in a position, it's only so much that corner can do if the wide receiver is running away from him and there's a good ball. McTaggart does a good job of throwing his wide receivers open.
2nd and 10 now for ESU. Send the big fullback in motion in frame.
Oh, good blocks, good run.
Nice run there up the middle for Tyreek Lewis, who's still going and now brought down out of bounds on the play by Clayton Batten.
In East Stroudsburg, it's funny to say it, it's unusual to see a team that has not only multiple tight ends listed on their depth chart, they also have a couple of fullbacks on the roster. That's something that you don't see too often, but you certainly see why it is effective to have those type of players on your team. Not only can they help you out on special teams, but they can also do the gritty, dirty stuff that you need on offense to be successful.
So it's a 3rd down and 1 for the Warriors. Stacked up in the shotgun formation. Now they go to the I formation. Frame is the fullback. Lewis is the running back. They give it to him, and Shepard comes in off the edge to make that initial contact, but I think they got enough for the first down. It was Young there off the edge trying to push Lewis back, but Lewis was able to move forward and get the first down for the Warriors. And they're going to go quickly here. And here's Lewis right into Miles Greer at the 49-yard line for a solid pickup, bring up 2nd down.
You see East Stroudsburg kind of adjusting their attack, realizing the past couple of drives, well, there's going to be a penalty on the Shepard defense that time.
Yeah, Shepard was struggling to get off the field.
Yeah. And again, they're switching it up, using tempo. Now they're going more to the ground game, knowing that if they can keep that defense out there for an extended time period, they can wear them down later on. So backing off on the pass a little bit, but using that run game. But when you're having that much success running the football, no reason to try to get fancy. Stick with what's working.
Penalty declined, so we'll bring up 2nd down for ESU after a solid run play. On 1st down, Warriors lead at 7-0, coming in 8-1. Shepard 5-4 on the season. 10.5 minutes to go in this first half. You see with the replay there, Shepard had too many guys on the field trying to get off as East Stroudsburg went quickly with the no huddle. 2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard pickup. McTaggart wants a deep ball, steps up, looks over the middle, and finds a wide open man for a first down. Hauling it in for the Warriors was Benny Pembleton.
5'11", 175-pound grad student. And again, just a veteran ball club out there for East Stroudsburg. So you're going to see these type of plays where maybe the timing of the play breaks down a little bit, but they're comfortable enough where they know where they need to be to help their quarterback out. And Pembleton, he had a little bit of trouble getting a handle on that ball, was able to corral it, though, before he fell to the turf.
Yeah, it looked to be a hard-thrown ball from McTaggart and also maybe a little bit behind him, but overall, Pembleton able to make the adjustment and haul in that catch. 9.5 minutes to go, and they'll run it up the middle. It's Lewis, and Brody Carroll's not going to allow that to go too far. Gain of about 1 on the play. We'll bring up 2nd and 9.
So good stop that time by the Shepard defense, forcing him into a bit of a 2nd and long.
Come back on that replay. It looks like he caught it about 3 different times.
Uses hands, chest, thigh pad.
But it was a good catch. So no challenge necessary. Before 2nd down and 9 here for East Stroudsburg. 8:50 to go in this first half. Warriors killing a lot of time. And they'll go play action. McTaggart looks to run, pulls it down, slides forward for the first down. Tackled on the play by Harold O'Neal.
That was a nifty slide that time by McTaggart. Getting down quickly. He was in traffic. A lot of times you don't see that slide except when a quarterback has a lot of open space and they just don't want to take that hit. But a good ball fake. If you can make the defender tackle the ball carrier when he doesn't have the ball, that's a pretty good ball fake. And McTaggart able to get off the edge, turn up field, and again, not wanting to take unnecessary punishment, does a good job of ducking down.
Yeah, the Rams probably made more contact on themselves on that run than on McTaggart. 5 on the play clock, no backs in the backfield. Rams bring some pressure. McTaggart slings it underneath, complete to Siggins for a first down to the 11-yard line.
And like we mentioned, Siggins is a big target, 6'3", 185 pounds, and a lot of the offense goes through that connection, and that's something that's going to be important for East Stroudsburg today is get those two guys on the same page. That's really going to put a lot of pressure on that Shepherd defense.
So East Stroudsburg can get a first down without getting into the end zone here as the ball has been spotted at about the 11.5. 3 receivers set for McTaggart and the ESU offense, 7 on the play clock. Now a receiver joins McTaggart in the backfield, and they'll go play action, look toward the back shoulder, and it's an easy touchdown, ESU. Hauling it in on the play for the Warriors was Evan Roche, the redshirt junior. And it's 13-0 East Stroudsburg with 7:07 left in this first half.
Roche doing a good job. He was attacking vertically, but leaving up a little bit of space towards the outside, so when the quarterback decides to go back shoulder, a lot of open space over there for him to jump up, make an acrobatic catch, and pull it down and extend this Warriors lead.
Extra point is up and good. It's East Stroudsburg 14, Shepherd nothing here. 7:07 to go in this first half. We'll take a 1-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
We welcome you back here. Shepherd returns the kickoff after the ESU touchdown to put them up 14-0, and Cam Dorner will get them good field position to about the 27, 28-yard line, depending on the spot. But it's 14-0 East Stroudsburg. Our scoring drives there brought to you by Floor Pools. Seemed to have misplaced that one, but scoring drives brought to you by them. So here we go. Scoring drives brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown, including a brand new pop-up location in the Valley Mall. So here's a run up the middle for the Rams. It's Grant Swinehart taking it to the 32-yard line. This will bring up second down. Travis Shepherd not only, at this point down in the game 14-0, but for East Stroudsburg, they killed a lot of this second quarter on that last drive.
And again, it was something where they just recommitted themselves to that running game. They were picking up nice chunks, and you're able to use that play action pass or the RPO And again, this offense has just been red hot this year, like we mentioned, averaging over 36 points per game. You're certainly seeing why, because they have just a whole arsenal of weapons at their disposal.
There's Swinehart again. He gets about 3 on the carry, bring up a 3rd down and 3 for Shepherd. 6:11 to go in this first half. They'll say 3rd and 4, so. Jeremiah Taylor, receiver to the near side. That's Barry Hill to the far side here for the Rams. Pound claps his hands. And goes play action, slings it out on the pass, complete to Barry Hill, and Hill fights forward and gets the first down, but the ball came out, and East Stroudsburg dives on top of it, and it should be Warrior football. They're lateral on it. I don't know what's going on here. We got whistles, of course, coming in.
But it never hurts to fake it until you make it. Put the pressure on the referees to make that call, but just a tenacious play by that East Stroudsburg defense. And you got to give credit to Barry Hill. He had that ball, and he had to make something happen, so he was able to move the sticks. Hopefully, if Shepherd retains possession, he had a 2nd and 3rd effort to get the ball to the line of gain, and maybe that extra effort was something that kind of led him into it, but it looks like East Stroudsburg will recover that fumble.
Yep, so it is Warrior football here as we take a look at the replay.
Oh, and that's what it was. As Barry Hill was fighting for that, get that first down, just the defender that initially tried to tackle him was down on the ground. He's just able to punch straight up in the air and get that ball out of his hands.
It looked to me almost like Hill just kind of lost it on his way down, but either way, yeah. Tough fumble there after he already had picked up the first down at that point, but clearly the ball was out. So
as he's coming down, and a player kicks the ball. The player kicks the ball out of his hands.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There you go. So who was that? Number 3 kicks the ball out of his hands on that play. Again,
Raymond Simmons.
Yeah, just a unfortunate, unlucky play. And we knew that Raymond Simmons was going to be involved in today's game. We didn't know that he would be involved in the kicking game.
Yeah, just a weird play. Never really seen a foot force a fumble before, but here's a big run to establish some dominance here as East Stroudsburg has a chance to go into halftime up by 3 scores. And Shepherd does get the ball to start the second half, but it wasn't a bad situation to be down 14-0 with about 6 minutes left and possibly get a drive going. But now East Stroudsburg forces that turnover, and Lewis runs for 9 yards. Will bring up a 2nd and 1. And now we have, I believe, a flag or a timeout on the play.
Delay a game.
Yeah, there's the delay of game. So wasn't sure if possibly the Warriors got a timeout off, but they'll back them up to a 2nd and 6. Excuse me. Just over 5 minutes left here in this first half.
You can see McTaggart a little bit angry. The play got in late, and they've used a lot of motions and shifts. So if you're going to move people around like that, it's important for you to get that play in early so you have some time to work with that play clock if you're going to use the motions and the shifts.
Here's the play action. McTaggart pumps Fluke all over it, though. Great play by Vince Fluke to get the sack, and possibly this Ram defense now, Travis, going to get them off the field.
And that time, just a disciplined defensive play that time for Shepherd, really having all options covered on that play. They took care of the run fake, they took care of the pass fake, and the quarterback had no choice but to eat it. So McTaggart did a good job of not trying to force the issue and possibly risking turning over the ball, but a much-needed big play for that Shepherd defense. Now they have a chance to get off the field here, 3rd and 11, and give their offense another opportunity to try to get something going before going into half. Big stop right here for the defense. They need to get it.
3rd down and 11 for McTaggart with a 5-receiver set. Here's play action. McTaggart screen pass underneath, complete. Shepherd, though, flying to the football, making the tackle for maybe a loss of 1 on the play. Brody Carroll, the man there, on the completion underneath to Tyrese Brandon. So it'll be 4th and 12, and East Stroudsburg will be forced to punt after Shepherd turns it over on the fumble, but their defense stands strong here. So great job by that Rams defense.
And again, you know that they were going to be able to make some stops today, and that was going to be critical. But Shepherd's offense is going to have to get things in gear, and they have an opportunity to do it here. They have all their timeouts, a little over 3 minutes left. They're able to get something on this drive. You can go into halftime, build on that, and like you mentioned, getting the ball back again to start the second half. So they have an opportunity to chip away at this lead and really get back into this ball game, but just lacking that spark on the offensive side of the ball. So somebody needs to step up and make a play. And that's kind of been the perplexing thing about this Shepherd offense this year, is that there's really no one area that you can point to and be like, well, if this gets fixed, then things will be fine. It's kind of just, I don't know. It just really hasn't come together for the Rams offense this year on a consistent level. The talent is there. It's just that chemistry and that spark hasn't been there.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 for Shepherd from their own 10-yard line with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left before halftime. Here's Jordan Barnett again. Shepherd's been able to run the ball, and it's a big hole for Barnett. 1st down, Rams. Across the 20-yard line out to about the 23 before he's finally brought down on the play.
And Barnett has been the hot hand in that running game here the past couple of weeks. Again, averaging 5.8 yards per carry last week. Is just a big physical presence that can run in between the tackles and also has that ability to break it for longer runs than you would expect for a running back of his size and his running style.
Yeah, and so far they haven't really been able to stop Barnett when he's gotten going. It's just more so that they take his legs out. But Barnett has just rumbled forward for positive yardage. 2:25 left, and they'll feed him again. This time, though, he doesn't go anywhere. No gain on the play. Great job by that East Stroudsburg defense.
Yeah, no push up front for that Shepherd offensive line. And big Jake Williamson, the redshirt sophomore, the 6'2", 280 pounds, used every ounce of that frame to really jam things up that time. No push up front. Shepherd staring at a 2nd and 9.
But we'll have the 2-minute timeout, so let's go ahead and take a 1-minute break. 14-0 East Stroudsburg. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm John Everson, private wealth advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
Our second quarter is brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. It's also brought to you by Parsons Ford. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. I'm sorry, brought to you by the Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons. Proudly serving our area since 1880.
Another catch that time by Dustin Fisher. Only had one catch coming into today's game, and he's doubled that output here early on. And that has certainly been, well, I talked about it earlier, if you had to point to something that the Shepherd offense was lacking, it was production out of that tight end spot. They really haven't had that aspect to their offense so far this year.
3rd and 5, Powell, QB draw of all plays, and that goes nowhere. So not sure about that play call there for Shepherd, but East Stroudsburg was all over it. Give credit to Ashton Blose, the redshirt freshman.
And that's been a curious call on the past couple of third downs. One on the Berry Hill fumble where it's 3rd and short and you're throwing the ball a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage and putting a lot on Barry Hill to try to make a play and make something happen. And as he tried to force the issue, he wound up turning the ball over. That time you go with the quarterback draw on 3rd and 5. Okay, that's a fine play, but you have to give the defense something to chase. So if you're not attacking a team down the field, then they really have no reason to drop back into coverage, and you're not going to create those lanes that you're trying to attack when you're running that quarterback draw. So, again, I got to agree with you there, Nick. That was a curious call on 3rd and long going for that quarterback draw.
And earlier on 3rd down, they took a deep shot on a 3rd and 5. So this has kind of been one of the reasons why you're 102nd in the country in 3rd down conversion percentage.
Just an intermediate target. That's don't go through the extremes. Not something 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, or something 30 yards down the field. Find something in the intermediate range across the middle. And I think that's something that's going to be helpful for the offense.
Now, the Barry Hill play did work, but unfortunately Hill did fumble. At least on that one, it's getting the ball to a guy that is a good playmaker for you and can get those yards after the catch. Punt that time from Barrick didn't go the best, so East Stroudsburg will have good field position here with 1:14 left and still have 2 timeouts to work with as well. So, yeah, it's just been some curious calls today. They've definitely ran the ball decently on 1st and 2nd down, as they haven't just gotten this 3rd down offense to click. And that time Barrick's punt wasn't the best either, so East Stroudsburg in a good situation here.
So you're going to set up shop right around midfield. You still got a couple of timeouts in your back pocket and plenty of time to do what you want to do. So it's something where East Stroudsburg really doesn't even have to try to go exclusively to the air. They still have 2 timeouts, 1:14 left, so can still mix in some runs to keep that Shepherd defense honest.
So here you go, 1st down and 10 from the 46-yard line. And here's a wide receiver screen to Siggins. And Siggins works it forward out to about midfield. Batten makes the tackle. So he's able to get out of bounds, though. And
some good blocks out there by the East Stroudsburg wide receivers, but that Shepherd defense does a good job of flying up to the football and forcing him out of bounds.
Yeah, typically screen plays and underneath stuff doesn't usually work too well against this defense. They are usually very good at flying to the football, and they show that there. 2nd down and 8 for ESU. A little bit of pressure. McTaggart looking deep down the field and incomplete. Brandon was the intended receiver on the deep ball. So we'll bring up a 3rd down and 8.
And Tyrese Brandon, he's a versatile weapon for the East Stroudsburg offense. Will get a lot of carries. Will also get some passes in his direction. Coming into today's game, has 13 carries for 85 yards, averaging 6.5 yards per carry. Also has 19 catches for 282 yards and a touchdown. So certainly going to have to be you're going to have to be very familiar with their scouting report to understand how they're going to use him and how they're going to attack you with him.
1:04 left, 3rd and 8. McTaggart steps up. Now late pressure and throws incomplete. Just tries to get away from it. It'll be 4th down and 8, and East Stroudsburg will punt. Shepherd will most likely, unless they get a big punt return, probably have to set it to halftime. But overall, the Rams defense has been put in some tough spots here before the half, and they've prevailed, Travis.
In that time, you could tell that their consistent pressure made McTaggart a little bit uncertain. He wasn't very decisive on that play. A lot of times you would figure that he would just tuck it and run. You got a couple of timeouts, so not sure where he tried to force the issue and then eventually settled to throw it down the field, or out of bounds, I should say.
Well, Greer will catch it on the punt return, get out to about the 25, 48 seconds left. Shepherd does have some timeouts to work with, so they may end up now, since not the worst field position, trying to force it a little bit. But Miles Greer took a shot. Luckily, he held on to that football. Again, it was Simmons coming down on that punt return to delay the initial contact, but Greer kind of bounced off of him before he was tripped up, and now he's a little bit slow, I believe, to get up.
So certainly Shepherd would like to get some points off of this offensive possession, but I think something that's going to be equally as important is just get something positive rolling on the offensive side of the ball, something that you can build on, some type of confidence going into halftime that you can come out and use here in the second half. And again, we've mentioned the running game has been pretty good so far today, but some curious play calls in some tight spots has led Shepherd to not be very effective on third down.
Shepherd hasn't been a team that's kicked a lot of field goals this year either. They're 3 for 5 on the year as Keith Baker heading into the game. His long is 37 yards. Again, this is a long injury here. Hopefully everything okay. But
it's like the trainers are working on that lower leg region. And again, at this point in the season, the bumps and bruises are mounting for everybody. It's a long football season, and you're starting to see how the injuries are going to start to crop up a little bit more often as we get closer to the end of the year.
So that wasn't Greer, I don't believe. Looks to be one of the other special teamers. I believe that is number 11, Will Johnson, who was hurt on that play. If that was an 11, that is Will Johnson. So I couldn't quite tell, though. But now we'll bring up now 1st down and 10 for Shepherd from the 25. And they'll run Malachi Brown. It's a huge hole for Brown. He gets it across the 30 to about the 34, 33-yard line before he's brought down on the play. Shepherd will have to go quickly if they still want to try to get some sort of score here before halftime. East Stroudsburg did a good job of staying on top of that pile and killing about 10 seconds.
Use the timeout. I mean, if you're trying to score and you have 3 timeouts, there's no reason not to just go ahead and take the timeout right there.
Yeah, on the 1st down, or it wasn't a 1st down, so now the clock was stopped, though, so I don't know exactly why that was. But anyway, Brown makes the catch. He gets the 1st down here, gets it out to about midfield before he's brought down on the play. Just 17 seconds left. So, yeah, Shepherd killed a lot of time on that.
Burned a lot of time on that.
I mean, with only 48 seconds, usually you're not going to see a run. I don't hate the run call because you figure, okay, if we break a big one, then we can try to go up tempo and get something going. But, yeah, burn your timeouts if you're Shepherd. You had, I believe, 3, unless that scoreboard's wrong. So here's a flag on this play as well.
Oh, looks like unsportsmanlike conduct on East Stroudsburg. So that's going to tackle on 15 and a much-needed break for this Rams offense. And again, you're looking back at that time that ticked off, and East Stroudsburg, again, we said they're a veteran team, so they understood the situation. That's why they just put bodies on top of Malachi Brown, just trying to slow down the process as much as they could, forcing Shepherd to use a timeout, and they didn't do it.
But Shepherd has now moved the ball into ESU territory. Powell has some time, only 13 seconds, and Leck is going to be sacked back at the 44-yard line. So that pretty much kills the drive. There's only 8 seconds left. The Rams do burn a timeout here. They have 2 remaining. Again, as we mentioned, Baker's long, just 37 yards, so you're going to need a real big play to get it into field goal range as you're at the 44.
And East Stroudsburg on this play, I think...
Great play, though, there on the edge.
Yeah, they're going to be setting up shop near the sidelines. They're not going to allow for any type of quick out or anything like that where Shepherd can maybe get some yards and get into a little bit of a closer position to take a shot for a Hail Mary. So you have 2 timeouts at Shepherd. Do you risk sending somebody over the middle and they get down quickly and you try to burn that timeout? But, again, this has been some... curious clock management here to close out the first half.
Give credit to Aiden Hayward with that sack as well, because Leck was trying to get to the edge, but the big defensive end stretched it out and stayed in front of him, made a nice tackle in space. So it is going to be a 2nd and 16. There's only 8 seconds left. Don't think you really have even the arm strength here, possibly for a Hail Mary even. I mean, it is.
It's a quick play to the sidelines. I kind of figured that's what they were going to try to do, try to get themselves in a bit better position to maybe take a deep shot down the field. And good defense that time by East Stroudsburg.
Malachi Bowman.
5'10", 175-pound redshirt junior.
Who I believe may have been the one that drew that penalty earlier. But this time Bowman breaks it up. And now Shepherd may have burned another timeout with 4 seconds left. Yes, they did. So we'll keep it here. 3rd down and 16. Shepherd is at the 44. I suppose they could take a Hail Mary shot. That's just good coverage. I mean, not even sure if that ball would have been completed, but great play by Bowman.
Again, a little bit of contact on that play, but not enough to draw the penalty. And for the most part, the PSAC officials will let the wide receivers and the DBs get a little bit of physical, get physical out there, play some football. And Bowman just doing a good job. Again, we talked about just as just a veteran ball club, so those type of plays they're really going to excel at as far as pushing the envelope, but not getting those penalties.
So the Rams have just 4 seconds. It's 3rd and 16. Shepherd is lined up to possibly try a Hail Mary. East Stroudsburg playing way back here, and now we are going to get an ESU timeout. So let's take a 30-second break. 14-0. East Stroudsburg on top of Shepherd. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. 4 seconds before halftime.
WV Medicine Bariatric and Metabolic Surgery, a department of Berkeley Medical Center, offers comprehensive weight loss programs, both medical and surgical, designed to help you obtain a healthy weight and improve your quality of life. Our team at WV Medicine walks with patients every step of the way, before, during, and after surgery, to provide education, resources, and support. To learn more about WV Medicine Bariatric and Metabolic Surgery in the Dorothy McCormick Center, call 304-901-7080.
We welcome you back here. 4 seconds to go before halftime. It's a 3rd down and 16 for Shepherd. They're at the 44-yard line, their own 44. So, again, this is a situation where you're most likely going to see a Hail Mary, as the East Stroudsburg defense very far lined back to defend it, but still brings some pressure. And Powell
defense that time
is hit from behind and fumbles, and it heads out of bounds.
And Terrell Reynolds, the redshirt freshman, was able to supply the pressure. 6'3", 235 pounds. So again, we've talked about all the veteran players that they have, but certainly have some young players in the pipeline looking to come up and take over that role. And Shepherd, a disappointing end to the first half, and really not a lot of answers on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Reynolds leads the team in sacks heading into the game at 4.5 on the year, but Shepherd will head into halftime here down 14-0. Let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the Mangiafretti Law Firm halftime show. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows. Whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
We welcome you back here at the half, 14-0. East Stroudsburg leading Shepherd. Travis, your first half thoughts?
Well, we knew that East Stroudsburg's offense was going to be a problem today, and they've been able to put up a couple of scores, but credit to that Shepherd defense. They've been able to hang tough, and that was going to be important for them today. You knew the Warriors were going to be able to score some points, but if you're able to stop them, get a few stops, and give your offense a chance to hang in this game, that's something certainly that is going to be in your favor. The Rams defense held up their end of the bargain. They just need some help from the offense. You're going to have to score points to beat this Warriors team. And so far, the Rams offense has been spotty at best. They had some success running the ball, but then they kind of get away from that. And then once they get behind the chains, it's been difficult for them to get to the line of game. So, again, Shepherd offense, they just need that spark, some type of confidence rolling to try to get things going in their favor. They're going to have an opportunity to get the ball back to start the second half. So this first drive is going to be critical. So certainly curious to see what adjustments that Shepherd offense is going to make in trying to attack that East Stroudsburg defense.
We'll give you some halftime stats here. Halftime is brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to WVJusticeLawyers.com. Our score here at the half, East Stroudsburg 14, Shepherd nothing. As you look at the Rams numbers here at halftime, not a whole lot really stands out to you for positives. Lek Powell is 6 for 8 at the half for just 38 yards passing. In terms of the running game, it wasn't too bad. You did have a few good runs here and there from the Rams. Malachi Brown goes into halftime with 6 carries for 31 yards. Jordan Barnett at the half, 3 carries for 19 yards. Grant Swinehart, 3 carries for 7 yards. In terms of the wide receivers, Dustin Fisher, of all people, leads the team in receiving yards at halftime with 2 catches for 16 yards. Malachi Brown with 1 catch for 14 yards. Barry Hill had the catch and fumble on a 6-yard reception there, and Jeremiah Taylor had a catch for 3 yards. Defensively for the Rams, leading the way at half with the tackles is Harold O'Neal, as well as Miles Greer and Brody Carroll with 4, and O'Neal has 5 here at halftime. The Rams also got the Vince Fluke sack in that first half. For East Stroudsburg, quarterback Sean McTaggart has had a solid first half. He is 12 of 17 for 134 yards and a passing touchdown. McTaggart has also ran the ball 5 times for 39 yards and a score. In terms of the wide receivers, John Siggins at halftime is on pace for another huge game. 5 catches, 85 yards in that first half. Brandon with 2 catches for 7 yards. Heiser, 2 catches, 4 yards. Pembleton with 1 catch for 14 yards. In terms of the ground game for East Stroudsburg, Tyreek Lewis on the ground has 9 carries for 34 yards. Tyre Mills has just 2 yards on 1 carry. They haven't really ran Mills as much today, and heading into this one, they've been a team that gets pretty balanced with their running game, so give credit to Shepherd's defense in that first half. Noah Hambrick and Mason Smith lead the team in tackles after the first half with 4 each. Those first half stats are brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to FordofHagerstown.com. All right, we'll take another break. On the other side of that break, Colin will give us a scoreboard update from around the PSAC as well as Division I football. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in about 2 minutes.
12-piece chicken for $12 with Rock's app.
Starting route to Rock's local market.
Stopping by a local watering hole for happy hour between 5 and 7 to get the family dinner.
It's not rocket science. Get a 12-piece chicken for $12 at happy hour from 5 to 7 p.m. with the Rock's app.
Reserve a table by the fire every night. Relax in the warmth and comfort of a Roach Energy gas fireplace. Roach Energy. Call 304-263-3329.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
The thing I'm most passionate about with my clients is that 95% of them that come to me, they've never been in trouble in their lives. They've got careers, promising futures, things that matter.
So thankfully, after it was all said and done, I had no DUI and I had no more stress facing me or my family.
When you're on the fence whether to hire a DUI attorney, I always say that you really cannot afford not to. My name is Harley Wagner. My law practice has been exclusively focused on driving under the influence cases throughout the state of West Virginia.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Welcome into the Scoreboard Show in the studio with the rest of the gang. It's Colin McLaughlin here for TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Let's now take a look at some scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. And we'll begin with a score 34-21. Actually, make it now 34-28. Clarion has scored with 2:23 left in the fourth quarter against Gannon. 9.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's Bloomsburg dominating Millersville 35-19. With 7:45 left in the fourth quarter, it is Cal U leading Edinboro by a score of 28-14. 10:26 left in the fourth quarter. It is Kutztown putting the beat down on Westchester, like the Golden Bears, typically do. That at 31-7. 35-14. Lockhaven is leading Shippensburg with 1:19 left in the second quarter. And just before halftime, it is number 10 Slippery Rock currently struggling against Seton Hill. That tied up at 7. So there's your scores from around the conference. Quickly go through some scores for you at the Division I level of things. The West Virginia Mountaineers in action right now against Cincinnati. We can begin with that one as it's a 24-7 lead for the Mountaineers against the Bearcats. Top 25 action going on right now. It's number 2 Ohio State leading Purdue 24-0 in the third quarter. Also in the third quarter, it is Georgia Tech at home putting number 4 Miami on upset alert. Georgia Tech leads at 21-10 now in the third. Number 5 Texas dominating Florida 42-0 is the score in that game, and that's all the top 25 games currently in action right now. So we'll step aside, take another 2-minute break, and on the other side of that break, it will be Nick and Travis back talking and me enjoying the food instead of the other way around right now. So back for more on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube after this.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at FordofHagerstown.com or HancockChevy.com.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Hey, it's Cody with Cody's Auto Body. No Shave November? What the hell is that? When men were men, shaving was only done for very special occasions, and most of those were under protest. The only thing that should be wax smooth in a man's possession better have an engine attached. If you want to keep that ride looking fresh, come see me, and I can knock a few years off. As for your face, you're on your own. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body. That's Cody's with a T for trust.
We welcome you back here to the halftime show, brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg. Our score here at the half, East Stroudsburg 14, Shepherd nothing. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Thank you to Colin, our producer, for his halftime scoreboard update. Travis, as we get ready for the start of the second half, where does Shepherd make the adjustments to get themselves back into the game? Obviously, some of the keys in that first half have been some struggles on third down and not a whole lot to say for themselves in terms of the passing game.
Well, the surprise so far today has just been involving the tight end a little bit more. I think not so much involving the position, but where they're attacking using that tight end over the middle of the field. Like we said, everything has kind of been the extreme. Either it's some type of quick pass out to the sidelines behind the line of scrimmage or something super deep down the field. Find some of those intermediate targets where possibly you have one of those multiple wide receiver looks where the inside wide receiver is running more of a clear out and then the outside wide receiver breaks across the middle and giving your quarterback that intermediate target. But the running game has been there, so you would think that the play action game would also be an option if you're having that type of success running the ball, where it just has to be a combination of things. I don't think it's one thing that you can point to with this Shepherd offense just playing with a little bit more energy. They're just in desperate need of a big play, and they've had a hard time locating out here in the first half. So maybe here in the second half, you kind of got the jitters out a little bit, and you can refocus, get out there, and make something happen with this first drive. But you certainly have to avoid going 3 and out to start this second half because you really don't want to have to put your defense back out there. They played so well in the first half. You don't want to ask too much of them because this game could start to get ugly pretty quick if they go out there and start running out of gas here in the third quarter. So the offense has to do something, establish some type of run. The running game has been there, so I will make one adjustment. Give me a high percentage pass on first down, something that's going to throw the defense off. You've had some success running the ball, but you don't want to go out there each and every time running the ball on first and second down. Maybe some type of short, high percentage pass on first down that's going to kind of take some pressure off of that run game and maybe allow you to get a little bit more into your play action passing game as the second half wears on.
Sorry, I muted my mic, but you look at some of the first half team stats. We took a look at the individual stats earlier some numbers that stand out. Shepherd 0 for 5 on third down conversions so far today compared to East Stroudsburg, who is 4 for 8. The Warriors held the ball for 19 minutes in that first half. Shepherd a little bit over 10 minutes in terms of time of possession. The Rams had just 6 first downs in that first half. East Stroudsburg had 10. And yards per play was just 4 yards per play for the Rams compared to 6 yards per play for East Stroudsburg. So clearly still a lack of explosive plays out of this offense. It does seem like they've taken more shots down the field compared to last week, which was very much jet sweep, jet sweep, jet sweep. But you're not seeing them move the ball still, and you're not seeing them connect on those deep shots down the field. So the Rams' offense has certainly had its issues. The defense, though, is keeping them in the game, and really you look at some of these numbers for the Rams' defense, you got to be pretty happy about those. Shepherd did run the ball for 54 yards in that first half. Some sacks are going to take down the average rushing yards of 3.6, but if you just look at the running backs, the numbers a little bit better there. So as we head into the halftime, East Stroudsburg still could probably do a few other things a little bit better in that second half as well, Travis.
And you mentioned the defense. They're doing a good job of making McTaggart uncomfortable. You saw a couple of times where he was kind of caught in between two thoughts and throwing an errant pass here and there. So Shepherd's able to, one, maintain the discipline in those rush lanes and kind of keep him in the pocket. If you're able to move him off of his platform, it's done a good job of just creating some indecision on McTaggart's part. So hopefully some of that indecision can lead to a turnover. I think it's going to be something where maybe you have to even dial up even more pressure to try to force that turnover and give your offense the ball with a little bit of momentum and possibly on a short porch where they're able to punch it in and get on the board and get something rolling here in the second half.
All right, we'll take a 2-minute break. And then on the other side of that break, we'll continue here on the halftime show. I believe it's going to be kind of a longer halftime as it's senior day for East Stroudsburg, so they honored their band seniors at the half as well as the cheerleaders, it looked like, and now their band is taking the field. So a lot going on here at halftime. We'll take a break, and then on the other side of that break, we'll continue to talk Shepherd Rams football and hopefully be closer to the start of the second half. This is Shepherd Rams football, though, on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
Order number 2001.
It's not rocket science. Get a 12-piece chicken for $12 at happy hour from 5 to 7 p.m. with the Rocks app. Want the kids to warm up to you? Get a gas fireplace from Roach Energy. Roach Energy. Call 304-263-3329.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Still a big band performance going on at East Stroudsburg, so we'll just continue to talk it up here at halftime, I suppose. But again, your halftime show brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Travis, Shepherd has one more game on its schedule after this one. They're at Seton Hill next week. The Rams will travel on the road to finish out the regular season, hoping to get the win here today, possibly, and head in with a 6-4 record against the Seton Hill team that's putting up a good fight against Slippery Rock at halftime. So certainly won't be your typical Golden Griffins squad that we're used to seeing. Well, we've never actually seen them, but in terms of seeing them in the PSAC standings.
So, like you said, have to take care of business today, and the way the season has been a hard-fought uphill battle for this Shepherd team. If you're able to close out the season with a couple of wins, certainly a silver lining in that cloud going into the off season. But again, just lacking that spark. That's the only really thing. Like, you feel like the talent is there. You also have the experience and the skill, but it's just some type of spark that's needed to get that offense going. The defense has been doing its job. The special teams has always been solid. Just need that offense. And it's just a strange thing to say after watching Shepherd just, having this success under Bajan. But you can just go back through the history books. Shepherd has usually been a team that has had very few problems scoring in bunches. They've had no issues, whether that be through a very effective passing game or a very good ground game. But Shepherd has always found a way to put points on the board, so it's kind of an unusual situation to be in where you see the offense is just having a hard time getting any traction out there as far as putting up points on the board. So curious to see what adjustments will be made for Shepherd, but this first drive that they're going to get the ball back here in the second half is going to be very important to set the tone and how things are going to turn out for the Rams in today's ball game.
You don't want to apologize there, Seton Hill, just the Griffins, no gold in there. I was thinking maybe they were, but a lot of the teams do have colors, but I don't think they do. So I think they're just the Griffins. But either way, cool name. We have a lot of cool names in the PSAC. But Shepherd will head on the road there to close out the regular season. Well, to close out the season, since the Rams most likely will not qualify for the postseason. But again, they're trying to avoid a losing season as well at this point. So we'll see how the second half plays out. If Shepherd can make a comeback, if they can possibly get the win, and then that's already a goal that I guess you could say is avoided. But also you want to finish the year strong for momentum heading into next year. And the future of this Rams program is it just hasn't been the year that you would hope for. I mean, obviously I don't think people had the expectation of this team to possibly win a national championship like they've had a few years ago, but I think you expected at least, or at most, I guess you would say, a 2-3 loss season. So it's been a little bit of a weird year, but the Rams still have a chance to build some momentum heading into next year. And like you said, it's going to really start with this first drive of the second half, as it looks like the teams are back stretching on the field. Let's go ahead, though, and take another break. Let's go 2 minutes, and then bring it back here with the start of the second half. This is Shepherd Ranch Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control 4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
We welcome you back. Looks like the second half's just about ready to start between Shepherd and East Stroudsburg. Here, Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, as well as Kyle McLaughlin, our producer. As we get ready for the third quarter between the Rams and the Warriors. Shepherd down 14-0. Travis, obviously looking for those big plays. That's really what we've talked about.
And again, you have to make your choice and live with it. And if you're going to take the underneath stuff, then you're really putting a lot of emphasis on getting run after the catch. And if you're not able to get that run after the catch, then you have to have that counterpunch as far as using a double move. Because if you're able to take those plays underneath, eventually the defense is going to adjust and try to take those away as well. So you have to have that counterpunch ready and try to use a double move to get over the top. And think of the Jeremiah Taylor play where he scored that touchdown in overtime, in the first overtime last week. Have something like that queued up and ready to go, and just trying to get something rolling. You just feel like this Shepherd offense is just a play away from getting back on track, but so far that play has been quite elusive in today's contest.
All right, we're underway here to start the second half. Malachi Brown will field it from about a yard deep. Brown gets a block. That's looks like Stanfield on the return.
Fumble. No.
And Stanfield's going to get it out to about the 30-yard line. As our second half kickoff was brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. Visit burkeandschultz.com. We play hardball.
And good blocks that time, and Stanfield just doing a good job. He really didn't get touched until he was about halfway down the field. Good field position. That was a much-needed big play. He did fumble. The ball went out of bounds for him, fortunately. That's one of the reasons why you always hear coaches talking about keeping that ball in the outside hand. Just in the unlikely event that the ball does come free, it's going to roll harmlessly out of bounds. And that was to the benefit of the Rams offense, setting them up in very good field position today.
Yep, Shepherd at the 30-yard line of East Stroudsburg. And here's Malachi Brown, and Brown will rumble for about a yard or two. Again, that's ESU making the tackle, and then Raymond Simmons the fourth. The linebacker built at 5'10", 240 pounds is what they list him at. But
that's a big backer. But he doesn't play the way his size.
He doesn't look 240.
Yeah, it doesn't look 240, and the way he's able to run from sideline to sideline doesn't play like he's 240.
Here's Malachi Brown on the reception this time. Gets the first down before he's knocked out of bounds on the play. Again, there's Simmons. So Shepherd moving the ball into ESU territory, and they get that spark on special teams, which we haven't seen as many big returns this year for the Rams after last season.
I think they kind of scare teams early on in the season, so teams have made an adjustment in kicking the ball in such a way where they're just maybe give up a little bit better field position, but not allowing for those big plays like that. So they're trying to hedge their bets by kicking away from some of those dangerous returns, but when they do get the ball in their hands, you certainly see why teams are trying to avoid it.
And so far, that's been a valid strategy because Shepherd's offense has not had too much explosiveness. As here's Barry Hill hauling it in, and Hill takes it inside the 10-yard line. So it'll be first and goal, Shepherd.
And again, a good intermediate option throw for the quarterback. Just everybody, it looked like it was just a basic all hitch on that play, and Powell just doing a good job dropping back, getting rid of the ball on time, taking advantage of that loose coverage, and allowing Barry Hill to make a play after the catch.
Hill this time flips it out, Powell flips it to Hill, and Hill takes it into the end zone. Touchdown. Shepherd and the Rams are on the board after the big kickoff return sets up the offense. It's 14-6 here with 13-18 to go in this third quarter.
It was just what the doctor ordered on that whole start of the second half for the Rams. Big special teams play sets the tone. Then Shepherd able to go out and make some plays in the passing game, and Barry Hill able to take the ball across the goal line again. He's very tough with the ball in his hands and out in space, and some good blocks out there on the edge. That's something that we have seen all year long, is that Cam Dorner and Jeremiah Taylor are very good blockers, and look like there's going to be a penalty versus Shepherd. Not sure what that penalty is, but it's not going to affect the touchdown, but going to back up the extra point attempt. It looks like maybe it was an illegal substitution call against Shepherd.
Yeah, kind of a weird signal there from the official, but I believe that was the call. So Baker will attempt the PAT from a little bit longer. And the kick is up. And it's no good, I believe. No, it was good.
Yeah, they marked it good. It was just inside that left upright.
It looked like for a second that maybe from the angle we had that East Stroudsburg had gotten a piece of that football. But either way, it does find its way through, and Shepherd has got the lead at half. 14-7 our score. We're back in 1 minute. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
We welcome you back here. Shepherd trails East Stroudsburg 14-7, 13-18 to go in this third quarter. Rams on the road. Keith Baker will kick it away here for Shepherd. Rams come in at 5-4. East Stroudsburg at 8-1. Shepherd trying to play a little bit of spoiler today against the Warriors, and they've found their way back into the ballgame. Here's a high kick from Baker that's fielded at around the 28-29 yard line. A flag, though, on the play as the Rams get it into the end zone on that previous drive, which was set up by the Stanfield kickoff return, and then a Barry Hill touchdown. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown, including a brand new pop-up location in the Valley Mall. 14-7 our score. East Stroudsburg leads Shepherd here in the third quarter, and it'll be first down for the Warriors.
And the Rams got dinged that time for offsides on that kickoff attempt. You could tell that they tried to use that blooper kick to the 30, maybe catch a funny bounce. The ball did manage to hit the turf, but the Rams not able to recover, but just a little bit too eager to get down the field and beat the kicker before he had a chance to kick the ball, and that's what's going to get you that offsides call, and East Stroudsburg is going to get the ball with pretty good field position.
Yeah, they might have even declined the penalty as the ball's at the 34, so pretty good field position either way for East Stroudsburg as they'll run it up the middle. And not much room there for Mills.
Yeah, Tahir Mills, one of the bigger running backs that they like to use often down towards the goal line, has 7 touchdowns coming into today's game. The 6', 200-pound junior.
They haven't gotten him really going here today. At halftime, I believe, only had 1 carry for 2 yards, so wasn't a big dosage of Tahir Mills in that first half, either really with Lewis. It was more of a passing attack. Second down and 2, and this time Mills gets a big carry and a big hole. As he pushes forward, Brody Carroll trips him up. And on 2nd and 10, he makes it a 3rd and short.
East Stroudsburg lucky to not get a holding penalty on that play. The big tight end, Bo Heiser, was doing that chip block on the backside, and as the defender was able to scrape across his face and really get after the ball carrier on that play, looked like Hauser took him to the ground. So the Warriors lucky to avoid a costly holding penalty on that last play.
Looks to be about a 3rd down and 1 with 12 minutes left in this third quarter. And this time they'll run Mills again, and Mills pushes forward and should have enough for the first down.
No secret as to where East Stroudsburg likes to run the ball in short yardage situation. They're going to use their big right tackle, Guy Gilliard, the 6'8", 410-pound senior. That's pretty much the whole right side of your offensive line right there.
Yeah, pushes forward for the first down, does ESU. First and 10 with 11:15 to go. And they'll go play action pass. McTaggart looking deep.
Oh, good pick.
And it's picked off by Shepard.
Clayton Batten.
Travis, you're ahead of us.
A little bit.
So you're spoiling. Clayton Batten comes away with the interception for the Rams of 11:05 to go in the third quarter. So Travis, the momentum on the Shepard side all of a sudden.
And again, Shepard able to get some pressure back there, and that was just an underthrown ball that time by McTaggart. Not a lot of times where he's going to make that kind of mistake. He had an opportunity to step up into his throw a little bit, and the wide receiver was behind Batten. So if he leads him down the field, there's not too much that Batten's going to be able to do. Cook had him beat deep, but as that pass was hanging up in the air, Batten was able to recover, pull it in, and get a much-needed extra possession to this Rams offense. Let's see if they can stack some positive plays on this drive.
An unreal catch, too, from Batten. Hauled it in with one hand as they'll run Grant Swinehart up the middle, and Swinehart finds some positive yardage out to about the 19-yard line after Shepard took over from the 14. It's about a 5-yard gain. We'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Rams mixing in all their running backs today, doing a lot of good things on the ground, and Lek Powell and the offense going quickly here, which seems to be when they've been at their best. Swinehart remains the running back for 2nd down and 5.
Good run up the middle.
There's that run that Travis just talked about. Gets to the first down marker. So Rams able to get it going on the ground. James Bell leading the way, the veteran center. Had the chance to talk to James this week. Been a starter for the last 2 seasons for Shepard up front.
It was T.J. Harris and on the tackle that time for the East Stroudsburg Warriors.
So 1st down and 10 now for the Rams. Like Powell again feeding Swinehart. It's another big hole. Grant Swinehart into the secondary across the 40-yard line. Brought down at the 41. Swinehart with a big run there for the Rams.
And a good ball fake that time by Lek Powell. He hands it off, but he sells the fake after he hands it off, and it was just enough to freeze up that defensive end, and he wasn't able to crash down and get Swinehart in the backfield.
So I'm bringing up 1st down and 10 now for Shepard. They'll run Jordan Barnett this time, and Barnett finds a little bit of room, gets about 3 on the play. Nice tackle there at the line of scrimmage from Jake Williamson. 2-yard gain, 2nd down and 8. Stack receivers with trips to the far side. For Shepard, I haven't really gotten Cam Dorner involved too much in the action here today, if at all, actually. He doesn't have a catch yet.
The biggest play he's made was that big block to free up Barry Hill for that first touchdown today.
I think that might have actually been Taylor on that play, so hasn't even done that.
I was trying to give him something there, Nick. Come on, man.
I'm sure he's been blocking hard. I don't want to take anything away from Cam Dorner.
He'll come looking for you.
4-yard gain on the play. 3rd down at 6. 8:25 to go in this third quarter. Malachi Brown is the running back. Dorner is the receiver to your top of your screen. Taylor to the bottom, Hill in the slot. Powell throws it tight window to Malachi Brown underneath, and that's a great tackle in space for East Stroudsburg to force a punt now.
And that pressure in Powell's face has to get it over the outstretched hands of the defender, and it was just enough to slow up the play where Malachi Brown wasn't able to catch that ball in stride, and the defense was right there to bring him down.
Brittingham there with the tackle. So Shepherd will punt after, again, a decent drive to move the football down the field, but go a little bit too conservative, it feels like, on third down and long, or medium, I guess you would say.
Yeah, really just not trying to attack the defense, just really just hoping that your guys are going to be able to out-athlete the defense, and you can't. That's not going to be sustainable. That's something that's not going to be consistently there.
Especially against a team like East Stroudsburg, as here's a big punt return for ESU. They get it across the 30, and they're ran out of bounds at around the 35-yard line. As Deontay Crawford trying to make a big return, and he does so to set up the East Stroudsburg offense. It's 14-7 ESU with 7:13 to go in this third quarter. So Travis, Shepherd punting it away there. Defense has definitely played good again here today against a quality East Stroudsburg offense. But the Rams haven't moved the ball against this defense, besides on the punt return or the kickoff return that set them up earlier.
The Rams defensive line just doing a good job of getting pressure, just trying to disrupt McTaggart, and only his 5th interception on the season. So you're going to get those opportunities, and it's going to be rare. You got to do more to try to take advantage of those opportunities as they come up.
Run on the play there for the Warriors. It's Mills again on the carry. It's about 6 yards, bringing us up a 2nd and 4.
And Mills having himself quite a season for the Warriors. 702 yards rushing coming into today's game, averaging 5.9 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns. Also has 8 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown as well. So a versatile weapon running the ball and also coming out of the backfield catching passes.
2nd and 4. They'll feed Mills again. This time he spins out of a tackle. Mills still going across midfield, trying to beat Mink on the edge, but he's knocked out of bounds into Shepherd territory. There is a flag, though, on the play. This might be brought back. See what the call is from the official.
Like it's going to be holding.
Yep, holding against East Stroudsburg. Looked like the left guard.
It may have been something where he was expected to run up the middle, and when the running back has to make some type of an adjustment and goes where he's not supposed to go, those linemen they're set up. They already have inside leverage, so when he bounces it outside, those offensive linemen they're trained to look down the field. They're not looking behind them. So as that defender is trying to peel away from the offensive lineman that has him sealed off, sometimes you're going to grab a little bit too much jersey, and that's going to be easy for the referees to make that decision and throw a flag. And backing up East Stroudsburg to a 2nd and 14. So now in favor of the defense to try to get off the field on 3rd down if they can manage to get a good stop here on 2nd and long.
Yep, 2nd down and 13 here, 6:20 to go in this third quarter. Frame, the fullback, heads in motion. Play action pass. McTaggart now looks to run, pulls it down. Takes a shot from Miles Greer. He's still going, though, as McTaggart. He gets a push from his offensive lineman, G.O.D. Tolbert. Eventually the man to bring him down there. And 7-yard gain.
And you look at the running style for McTaggart. It isn't so much that he's just that athletic or that fast. He's a smart football player. So he's making good reads on those zone read fakes. And that time, the defense sniffed it out. They saw what he was trying to do, that play action fake up the middle, then dump it off to the fullback in the flat. Very similar to the style of plays you see the way that Shepherd likes to use Jack Rosnich. So you figure the defense is familiar with that look. They were on it, but McTaggart just savvy enough to see a little bit of open space and get upfield and pick up a positive play. That's an 8-yard chunk. Now you got 3rd and 6. Much more manageable. Oh, big play up the middle. Good job.
They run up the middle, but Shepherd is there. As coming off the edge was Kuoka, but also give credit to Bednarski, the first man there. And after that penalty, East Stroudsburg forced to punt. So the holding call, as usual, plays a big factor.
And Bednarski, a quiet season in terms of stats. 15 tackles, 3 of those solo coming into today's game. But again, the way the Shepherd defense is built, you really want those D linemen to eat up those blocks up front. And Bednarski is certainly a hard-nosed defender. He does that well, but certainly has the athleticism and the shake to get in the backfield and make a tackle for himself.
So Greer will return the punt. Surprisingly, doesn't call for a fair catch at his own 16-yard line. He's brought down immediately by Brandon there on the tackle, wide receiver.
And you see Miles Greer is just desperate to make a play for his team, and most guys either would have called a fair catch or just got out of the way, but Miles Greer just standing there in the breach and doing a good job of, one, catching that ball cleanly and not putting it on the turf. Just trying to make something happen for his team. So you can see that the sense of urgency is beginning to mount for Shepherd, but you don't want it to be such a case where it could produce some turnovers. At this point, a turnover will be a critical mistake for the Shepherd offense. So, again, build on that momentum that you've established here in the second half, run that football, and see if you can get some play-action passes over the top.
4.5 minutes left here in this third quarter. East Stroudsburg 14, Shepherd 7. First down and 10 here for the Rams, trying to get it going on the ground again. It's Swinehart up the middle to about the 21-yard line.
Swinehart was able to grind ahead for a couple of yards, but he had a huge lane to the backside on that play. If he's able to plant and cut back, he's probably still running on that play.
Ends up gaining about 5. So, still a solid play.
It's
but
a good gain on first down, absolutely.
Definitely possibly could have had some more on it. Travis Smith would
have. I would have seen it. I wouldn't have been able to do anything with it. I can point it out to somebody that's much faster than me.
Jeremiah Taylor hauls that catch in there for a first down on the play action from Lek Powell. Taylor, big body receiver, just not the season you expected out of him. Brittingham makes the tackle there for ESU, but if he can come on here in these final few moments of the season, trying to help Shepherd maintain at least a winning record this year. Here's the run up the middle with Swinehart. And ESU makes the tackle there after a short gain.
Shepherd just feeding the hot hand. Swinehart has had some success here in the second half, so you stick with it. Again, maybe try to work some type of play-action pass off of it. Again, 2nd and 8, it's nothing glamorous, but certainly much better than 2nd and 10. You still have some options at 2nd and 8. You can still run the ball or possibly even a short pass.
Davis there in on that last tackle. So 2nd and 8, 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Powell has to step up under some pressure, and he's sacked on the play.
Lucas Skelly.
Yep, Skelly, excuse me. The big D tackle. He's already been very active throughout the year. I believe that's his 3rd sack on the season as well. And Jefferson did a good job initially, but Skelly came off of that block and seemed Jefferson couldn't really stick with him there. So.
Williamson was also getting some pressure there in the backfield. And Skelly, again, we talked about a very active defensive line. Not too often you see interior defensive linemen racking up the type of numbers that Skelly does, but just proves his type of athleticism.
3rd down and 14. Powell looking deep over the middle of the field, and there's Cam Dorner with his first catch on the day. Shepherd goes deep and finds Dorner for a big play. First down, Rams.
And Shepherd has had some success throwing the ball over the middle of the field. I know it's going to be tougher for Powell. Again, we've mentioned his height, 6 feet tall, so it's going to be tough for him to see over those tall trees in front of him. But that middle of the field is open. And first down play just trying to get the ball out into the flats and winds up turning into a loss for the Rams offense.
Yeah, Mekhi Booker just reading it all the way for ESU and brings up a 2nd down here. 2nd and 15 after the 5-yard loss. So that's a tough play. After you just got a big completion to Dorner on a 3rd and 14, you lose 5 yards on first down. Bring it back now to the 42-yard line.
Big hit.
Powell looking to throw over the middle. Complete, and there's that big hit from the East Stroudsburg defense. Simmons.
Cuts him in half on that play.
Yeah, big play there for the linebacker, who we have certainly seen make his presence felt there. Dorner with the reception. That's one of those what makes you wonder why guys don't want to wear knee pads anymore.
Yeah, I don't get that trend. I was like, fashion is nice, but my kneecaps are more important.
3rd and 15 for Lek Powell and the Ram offense. Powell scrambling. He's brought down in the backfield. Another big play from Aiden Hayward. He gets the sack for the second time today. And that will pretty much do it here for the third quarter as you got Hayward matched up on a running back, and that's not the matchup you want if you're Shepherd.
Not the matchup that you want, but not for that amount of time. It was an issue of time. You have that type of pass protection on. That means the ball needs to come out of your hand quickly. You can't expect Malachi Brown to anchor against a big defensive player coming at him like that. So the initial block, it was fine, but as the play wore on and you saw Powell step up into the pocket, the defender's able to easily shed that block and get the sack. And again, this asking too much of your running back on that play. That was a good stop initially, but that ball's got to come out quicker.
14-7 East Stroudsburg as we head to the fourth quarter. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Drive More Days is back at Carter Myers Automotive, and this year we'll keep you rolling with a $1,000 gas card. Visit any of our locations to take a test drive, and we'll enter you into a drawing to win a $1,000 gas card. With that kind of money, fill up at the pump for the rest of the year, completely on us. Stop in during Drive More Days for your chance to win a $1,000 gas card. Only at Carter Myers Automotive. Owners just care more.
We welcome you back here as Shepherd forced to punt to begin this fourth quarter. It's 14-7 East Stroudsburg. Warriors will get the ball after getting some pressure on that Rams offense to end that third quarter.
And again, just pressure off the edge, and as Powell has to try to step up in the pocket, defenders just doing a good job of shedding that initial block and bringing down Powell. Powell, a mobile quarterback, but not so much in a threat where he's going to pull it down and run it himself, but does a good job of just extending plays and keeping his eyes down the field. But, again, pressure on Powell has led to a lot of turnover, so credit to Powell for not trying to force anything here early in the ball game, but got to do a better job of giving him some more intermediate options so he can get the ball out of his hands a little bit quicker.
So East Stroudsburg, 1st and 10 here from about the 21-yard line. Pass is thrown incomplete on the far side. Again, hauling it in for the second time today is Benny Pembleton. Our fourth quarter presented to you on TV 10 by by the Skinner Law Firm. Skinner Accident Injury Lawyers, representing accident injury claims for over 50 years, as well as Smallwood & Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard. 2nd down and 6 here for the Warriors after the 4-yard gain on first down. Rams bring a blitz. Big hole for Tyreek Lewis, but a good tackle there by Kawoka, as it looked like Lewis was going to get about 15 to 20 more yards before possibly being brought down, but Kawoka wrapped him up from behind and brought him down, but still a first down there for ESU. Shepherd might be off sides here, so it could be a free play, and McTaggart takes advantage, and he throws it deep down the field. It's incomplete, intended for Brandon. Broken up on the play by the Rams DB. Will Ennis, I believe, back there for Shepherd. Yes.
And that time McTaggart just showing his veteran savvy, trying to take advantage of the offsides, using that free play mentality to take a deep shot down the field. And the wide receiver had a shot at it, but some good defense that time by the Rams secondary.
Yeah, Queen, the one that was offsides on the play. Ennis breaks it up.
Again, that time the ball kind of hangs up in the air. The wide receiver was able to get behind the defender on that play, but he's having to wait on the ball. And that just gave the Shepherd defender just enough time to get back and break up that pass. So passes are hanging in the air from McTaggart, and it's already led to an interception and a possible loss of a scoring opportunity on that play.
But they do get the 5-yard penalty, so first down and 5 now for the Warriors. No run. Lewis gets about 3 or 4 before being brought down. Mekhi Young makes the tackle. Bring up second and short.
So using Lewis to set up that short yardage play. Could see Tahir Mills check into the game. He's more the bigger body, more the bigger banger for this East Stroudsburg offense. But second and 3, you really have a lot of options if you're that East Stroudsburg offense, and plenty of weapons at their disposal.
And definitely trying to kill some clock here, up by 7 with 13 minutes to go in the fourth. McTaggart rolls, throws, and passes caught right around midfield for ESU. As they were able to get it out there to Roche, who caught the touchdown earlier. Just wide open on the near sideline. It's a good play design there for the Warriors. First down and 10 now. 12:45 to go in this fourth quarter.
Just using that flood concept, and all the defenders came up hard to take away the flat option, and that's why Roche was wide open on that second level, because everybody was coming up trying to take away that first option.
Pass complete underneath again to Roche. I'm sorry, that time not Roche hauling it in. That was Justin Cook, a name we haven't said too much here today. As Shepherd's done a good job on these receivers. Siggins had a big catch early in the game, but we haven't heard much from him overall, even though he had, I think, 5 catches, 89 yards at halftime. So Shepherd's done a good job against a high-powered East Stroudsburg offense. Second down and 3, though, after a 7-yard gain. It's just at this point, maybe have they been on the field a little bit too much? Can they hold strong? Here's a run up the middle. It's about 3 or 4 on that play. O'Neal makes the tackle for Shepherd. Looked like Jack Brutus off the edge was the first man there. East Stroudsburg moves the chains. First down and 10. 14-7 Warriors in there. Driving again here against this Shepherd defense. To the 42-yard line of Shepherd. McTaggart brings Brandon in motion from right to left. Here's the jet sweep, and Brandon's got a big hole on this near sideline and takes it deeper into Shepherd territory before Mekhi Young can knock him out of bounds. Their first down.
Good block downfield that time by wide receiver Justin Cook. Allowed that jet sweep to gain as many yards as it just did on that play. Again, the Shepherd defense, they've been out there to answer the call pretty much all day today. But you're starting to see wearing down a little bit here in the second half, and you're seeing East Stroudsburg just trying to slow the game down. Like they were going a little bit more up-tempo early on. Now that they see that they had the advantage, they're just going to go ahead and we're going to play a nip and tuck down the stretch, not being too conservative, but really no rush to get the ball to the center and snap it back to the quarterback either.
McTaggart steps up, throws deep down the field, and incomplete. Again, he wanted his receiver deep down the field and Evan Roche, but pass was a little bit too far out of bounds, so it brings up a second and 10.
Again, was able to find a soft spot over there on the zone. They had that multiple wide receiver look to that side. You see the East Stroudsburg players trying to motion their coach to challenge the play. Oh, well, That was tough. You don't know if the referee's going to say he stepped out of bounds before he went for the catch, but he makes a pretty good, compelling argument looking at the replay that he may have had an option on that. And that 3 wide receiver look, and they used the concept that we've seen a lot for Shepard, is using that post wheel look as a trips look over to that side, and that inside wide receiver was the one that was running that wheel, and he had an open spot there on the sidelines. It was an accurate pass. Let's see if he was able to make an acrobatic enough play to keep his feet in. And Roche has really emerged and played well today. We knew what East Stroudsburg had out on the side as far as their weapons are concerned, as wide receivers like Cook and Siggins. But again, Evan Roche, the redshirt junior, able to step in and make some big catches today.
And to be honest, I didn't really know we had challenges in the regular season Division II. So I guess it just depends on the stadium's capabilities. Obviously, this broadcast for East Stroudsburg, they have a lot of different camera angles, a lot of different replays, so seems like they're pretty capable of doing something like that. So they're going to challenge it, and I would just like another look.
and Roche is feeling pretty confident about his case that he was able to get his feet in. Again, just an athletic play on the sidelines just to even make it that close and put some pressure on the referees to make a decision.
Well, let's go to our rules analyst, Colin McLaughlin. Colin, what are you seeing with that one? I was just kidding, but I can turn you off if you want.
I see what you see. I'm looking at the same screen as you.
Thank you, Gene. All right, so taking another look there. I can't really tell from that angle if he got the foot in, but it almost does look good, honestly.
Not the best angle.
Not the best angle.
They showed one earlier that was much closer.
This looks a lot better. All right, so he's backtracking the football. Heck of a grab, first of all. And then does he get a foot in? Yeah, I think that's a touchdown. Unless that ball's moving there at the end.
That's just incredible body control. Like all of his body is out of bounds, yet he's just able to arch just enough to get both feet in. That's a catch on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, and just to even haul this ball in is pretty incredible.
So an important play that could determine our catch of the game. So let's see how it turns out.
And it could determine the game as well. Shepard's down 14-7, so they're still very much in it. But if this is a touchdown, it makes it 20-7. I think it is.
Yeah, that looks like a catch.
The only thing that could hurt this is, does he step out of bounds there?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Almost looks like maybe he steps out before the ball gets there, but then the referee didn't have enough time to take his hat off. That's usually an indication that somebody steps out of bounds.
And the other thing is the official was right there, and he didn't call it a touchdown.
And it looks like he may have got an assist from Minka on that play, as that one foot is about ready to go out of bounds, and then you see Minka's foot comes over and basically steps on his foot and forces it to come down in bounds. So just an inadvertent assist that time by the defender.
But now as I'm looking back on it, I almost feel like his ankle hit out of bounds before he made the catch. But again, we don't have the exact angle, so this may end up being inconclusive evidence, because right there at around the 2 or 3 yard line, it looked almost to me like he stepped out. But I don't know if we have that angle or not. But from the angle we do have, it almost looks like a touchdown, but it also almost looks like he steps out of bounds. So
if only we had Dylan Bishop there on the sidelines to get this shot, all questions would be answered.
Yes. Whatever this is not going to tell me if they caught it or not. So
you got that guy right there with the cameraman on the sideline. See if he can upload that for us real quick. Oh, that was a good angle right there.
And this is taking a long time. I mean, I think the question is, at this point, did he
step out of bounds
before making the catch? Because from that angle, it looks like a catch. And then would they say, is that a good enough angle for them to overturn this, is the other question. What's crazy is you have to do this. In the NFL, they give you the headphones.
Yeah.
They have to do this with the band playing right in front of them.
Jamming. You see the conductors going at it right now. So in the NFL, they get the call from New York to give them that decision. I'm not sure who you get the call from in the PSAC. Get it from Scranton. You get the call from Scranton on that play.
Yeah. Well, East Stroudsburg's celebrating as if it is a touchdown, so. Not good at reading lips, but I can read hand signals. Touchdown, East Stroudsburg. So that's one that we might see on SportsCenter later tonight. That was a heck of a catch by Roche for his second touchdown of the day to make it 20-7 Warriors. One more view here at it. Just beautiful. And one that initially you think, no way was that a touchdown, but then you see the replay, and again, unless that foot stepped out, it was a good catch. Now the extra point, though, shaky, but still good. So East Stroudsburg extends their lead, 21-7 here, 10:18 to go in this fourth quarter. We're back in 1 minute.
Mother Shuckers. Fresh Florida stone crab straight from the boat to your throat. Blue crabs, king, snow, Dungeness, all available year-round. Try and find that anywhere else around here. Homemade soup specials every day. Mother Shuckers is located at 1014 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Mother Shuckers, we have an opinion. If you don't like it, shuck it up, Buttercup. Come on over to Mother Shuckers.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
East Stroudsburg adds another touchdown as Evan Roche with one of the best catches we've seen, if not the best catch that we've seen all season. It's 21-7. East Stroudsburg leading Shepherd here with 10:18 to go in this fourth quarter. On the kickoff, the Rams will let it bounce at the 10-yard line, and Miles Greer will take it out to about the 20. That's where the Ram offense will take over. But our scoring drives are brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown, including a brand new pop-up location in the Valley Mall. 10:13 to go in this fourth quarter. Shepherd's still in the game, but obviously need a response here, Travis.
So still plenty of time, so not a reason to really operate recklessly, but you certainly have to make the most of these. You're only going to have a couple possessions left here in today's contest. You got to make the most of them. We've seen this look a lot. 3 wide receiver set, tight end on the backside. You only have to read half of the field, and that's going to speed up the clock a little bit for Powell.
But it doesn't matter as East Stroudsburg still gets a sack back at the 13-yard line. Coming off the edge was Makai Booker, the senior defensive end.
Booker, just a big, tall guy, and we've seen that Pound's had difficulties with those tall, rangy defensive linemen this year. He's 6'4", 225 pounds, and did a good job of closing space, not leaving his feet right away, and did a good job of just corralling him. It was a dangerous tackle up top, but not going to draw the penalty.
Yeah, could have possibly been a horse collar, but nothing was in the area, or no flags on the play, and nothing was open down the field. That's what I was trying to say there. As the pass is complete underneath to Cam Dorner, he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage to bring it to a 3rd and 10, 9:19 to go. So Shepherd definitely can't have a 3 and out here. after East Stroudsburg
and on that
extends
sack,
its lead.
Yeah, and on that sack, it looked like Powell kind of abandoned the pocket a little bit sooner than he would have liked to. But the thing is, the more you roll out, you're kind of limiting your options as far as where you're going to throw, because you really don't want to throw back across your body, and there's no wide receivers to the backside. So you're kind of closing that window on yourself and making your own job a little bit more difficult the more you roll out to that side.
Powell, under pressure again, dumps it down to Barnett, and East Stroudsburg all over it. Again, it's Raymond Simmons, the fourth, making the tackle, or making the pass break up, I should say. Powell having to throw it off his back foot. Wasn't going to be a first down anyway. The Rams will be forced to punt here down 21-7. So just another tough day for this Shepherd offense.
Again, know that they have to go deep, so what does East Stroudsburg do? They send some heat back there and speed him up, make him take a check down option, and make one of those offensive players have to make something happen with run after the catch, and East Stroudsburg has really limited the yak yardage for Shepherd today.
Barrick's punt is blocked, and East Stroudsburg has it at the 13-yard line. The unit that has been reliable all season gives up a blocked punt, and East Stroudsburg can extend this lead even more. Just a tough day for the Shepherd Rams.
And
I guess it wasn't even blocked, as Barrick kind of dropped it on his way down and couldn't get the kickoff, it looks more so like.
Well, it was the pressure that was in his face, and that's when you have like those upbacks, those protectors in front of the punter, it's imperative that they can't drop back. If anything, you got to push everything to the outside. But as he gave ground, kind of got into the path of the punter. And again, you have a punter the caliber of Barrick, you really don't see him having issues as far as the drop. That's one of the more important aspects of a good punt, is how you're going to drop the ball. So that was just a strange play that just went horribly awry for that Shepherd special teams unit.
So East Stroudsburg will take over in Shepherd territory. Here's a run up the middle for Lewis. Big hole. He's got the first down. Well, met right at the sticks, I guess, so about a yard short as Giodi Tolbert continues to make big hits for this Rams defense, but I'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Or 2nd and 1, excuse me, after a 9-yard gain.
That was a nifty run that time by Lewis, just showing excellent footwork there in traffic and picking up some tough yards. So the initial hole was kind of jammed up. The Rams did a good job at the point of attack, but like I said, Lewis showing some quick footwork, just makes a speed cut to the outside, turns it upfield, and able to move the sticks for this Warriors offense.
9-yard gain, 7:55 to go in this fourth quarter. Here's a big hole for Lewis running down to the 1, gets an extra push, but they're going to mark him just short. But he does have the first down. Now some frustrations on that Shepherd side. Will be 1st and goal.
So there, Bednarski just trying to anchor that point of attack, but now you're just starting to see that big East Stroudsburg offensive line. Now it's their time to shine. You see those big fellas up front. Now they're just starting to lean on you and wear you down. They've done a good job of using that run throughout today's game, and one of the biggest benefits of doing so is that you're really able to run the ball with impunity once you get late into the game, especially if you have the lead. So again, East Stroudsburg just all the right moves so far today.
McTaggart hands it off into the end zone. Goes East Stroudsburg. It's Lewis from 1 yard out, and the Warriors make it 27-7 with just over 7 minutes left.
Again, the miscue on special teams gives East Stroudsburg a short porch. And again, the Rams defense has done pretty well as far as slowing down that offensive attack. But you have them with their backs up against the wall right there. East Stroudsburg's going to be able to make that play more times than not. Again, we talked about how dangerous they are once they get into the red zone. They have an 89% success rate of scoring once they get inside the red zone.
Extra point is up and good. It's 28-7. East Stroudsburg on top of Shepherd with just over 7 minutes left. We're back in 1 minute. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
So what?
So what? It's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. We're going to have to work at it every day, but I want to do that because I want you. I want you and me forever, every day. What do you want? What do you want? Come on, what do you want?
What do you want?
I want Panhandle dumpsters for the first month free.
Use the promo code to get the first month free.
We're back here, 28-7 East Stroudsburg on top, just over 7 minutes left. Looks like they're going to go pretty quick here on the kickoff, but a fumbled punt, I guess is how you would roll it, on Ryan Barrick, leads to a 1-yard touchdown run for Lewis, and it's 28-7. Warriors leading the Rams here in this fourth quarter. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown, including a brand new pop-up location in the Valley Mall. Here's Cam Dorner on a big kickoff return. He gets it out to about the 34-yard line before the Warriors bring him down. There's the Warrior. Got a flag on the play. Looks more like a Spartan.
Yeah. That's the bold King Leonidas right there.
I guess a warrior could be any kind of warrior. Spartan warrior. So
American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah. Makes sense. But East Stroudsburg 28, Shepherd 7. Another rough day for this Rams offense. They got the big kickoff return to start the second half, set them up, but other than that, it's just been pretty much nothing out of Shepherd offensively, Travis.
And again, just not a lot of answers. They've had some success running the ball. The passing game hasn't been there. East Stroudsburg has done a good job of just harassing Lek Powell all day today, and we've seen that throughout the day. And with most quarterbacks, when you're able to get pressure on them, it affects the decision making. It's going to affect the accuracy down the field, and it's going to keep you from trying to take those deep shots down the field, and you're not going to be able to stretch out the defense, and they just contract and contract and contract and really don't allow any of those big game type plays that we're used to seeing out of the Shepherd offense.
And a long flag here.
They're just standing over it, pointing at it. I think it's.
Is this your flag?
I have my flag. You have your flag. Who put that flag there?
It's a holding against the Rams on the kickoff return, and it's that guy's flag. It was nobody's flag.
Everybody's just walking away from that flag. Oh, it's mine. There's a guy. He wasn't even out there. How's his flag out there in the middle of the field?
Got a good arm.
Yeah.
6:54 left here in this fourth quarter. Jordan Barnett is the running back, lined up behind Lek Powell with the trips receivers. There's Pearson going in motion. Here's the halfback toss, which has been an effective play for the Rams this season, and Barnett runs forward out to about the 19-yard line before he's brought down on the play. That was Williams coming up and making that tackle, and another flag.
It looks like the guilty party is going to be the redshirt freshman Terrell Reynolds over there. Looked like he was just running his mouth. I'm like, you have the game well in hand. You have the offense backed up. There's no reason to make those type of plays. Like everything that's needed to go in your favor is going in your favor. Don't give them any type of spark where they can possibly get back into this game.
Yeah, so that penalty will help the Rams out, give them the automatic first down on the 15-yard penalty.
So that's what it looks like it's going to be. It looks like it was going to be a taunting penalty on T.J. Harris as he kind of stood over Barnett for that play on the sideline. I'm like, Barnett just picked up 9 yards on the play. Like, what smack can you talk on that play? You're winning the game, but on that particular play, you really don't have that much to talk about.
It's true. And no reason to be talking when you're up 28-7 as well. But, hey, when you don't beat Shepherd, I guess some of that stuff comes out, maybe.
Yeah. It's a lot of repressed feelings coming out today, because if you look back at that Shepherd game last year versus East Stroudsburg, Shepherd put it on them, 43-17. So maybe East Stroudsburg feeling like they're, it's a new day.
I mean, that was supposed to be the game that Shepherd was eliminated from the playoffs. That's what I was told all week. But Shepherd came in and proved that they were still the better team at that point. But this year, not the case. Especially when the Rams were coming off of an upset loss to Bloomsburg last season, 14-10. But East Stroudsburg did not show up on that day, but they have definitely showed up in a big way here today. 28-7, our score, 5:22 left. Here's that toss play with Barnett again, still working well. Big run for Jordan Barnett. Good to see the Rams still pushing forward and playing hard into this fourth quarter. Just over 5 minutes left, though, so not a whole lot of time, but the Rams are at least trying to establish some positive things here offensively because they haven't had these kind of drives in a few weeks.
So the Rams have hit that play twice. I'm curious to see if they have any type of wrinkle off of that play where they do that toss, maybe some type of fake, or it was like maybe an opportunity for a trick play off of that. But Shepherd is certainly going to have to reach deep down into their bag of tricks if they want to get back into this ball game.
Malachi Brown for a short carry up the middle, gave him about 3 yards. Again, it looks like at the bottom of that pile was Skelly. 2nd and 7. 4:22 left in the fourth quarter. 28-7 East Stroudsburg. Rams having to sub out Curtis Jefferson, who appears to be shaken up, so another injury to a guard for the Rams. Maybe it's just his helmet came off, I guess, so he had to come out for a play, it appears. There's a pass underneath complete to Malachi Brown, who's trying to dive for the first down when I think he's already out of bounds at that point, but comes up just a yard short. Jefferson trots back on.
That was a good spot, so maybe he wasn't out of bounds.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome play. Good job that time. But Malachi Brown not giving up on the play.
That's what you like to see.
Nice. Yeah, well, it looks like he was able to collect himself and launch himself forward to set up a 3rd and short. They've already used their challenge for today, so I don't know if they can take another look at it. But and that's something that you like to see, like when the game's kind of like getting out of hand a little bit here late in the quarter. You want to see who is still in the fight, who still wants to compete. So that's a good sign. Seeing Malachi Brown just trying to do whatever he can to try to make something positive happen for his team.
Swinehart has the first down to the 20-yard line. Yes, you did win the challenge, so they do have that challenge back, I would believe, but not sure if there's any restrictions to the challenges at the D2 level in the regular season, since, like we said, there's not a lot of teams that have the challenge capability during the regular season, so maybe it's restricted to just scoring plays, not sure. But either way, here's Swinehart up the middle, and turnovers, I would presume, but he gains about a yard or two, bring up 2nd down.
That time he was gobbled up by big Jake Williams, the 6'2", 280-pound redshirt sophomore, playing that defensive tackle position. And not too often nowadays where you see teams using those 4 down linemen, and not quite a 4-3 defense because they kind of use Noah Hambrick as that nickel back. But if you're looking at it at a more conventional standpoint, Noah Hambrick will probably be your will linebacker. So unique look for this East Stroudsburg defense.
Powell sidearms it to Cam Dorner, and Dorner doesn't find much room after the catch. Good job by the East Stroudsburg defense to get there. Making the tackle there for ESU was Makai Booker, and he'll talk a little bit of smack afterwards as well. 3rd down and 7.
And right now, East Stroudsburg, they're just content keeping everything in front of them, keeping that clock rolling, keeping everybody in bounds. Shepherd's making plays but not scoring points, and East Stroudsburg is happy with that arrangement.
Yeah, we got the 2-minute timeout. Let's go ahead and take a 1-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Our score, East Stroudsburg 28, Shepherd 7. We're back in 1 minute.
Take the stress out of updating and maintaining your home or business with RAI Properties. Serving the community for over 20 years, we specialize in fences, decks, landscaping, and property management. We also provide painting, flooring, vent cleaning, and renovation services. Our friendly, licensed professionals go above and beyond to get the job done right for you. For local service and trusted expertise for your next project, call RAI Properties today.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. When did turkey trots become a thing? It used to be that those elastic waistbands were to see how many trips you can make back and forth to the kitchen for seconds, not around the block. Now people are getting up and running on Thanksgiving. Unless it's a beer run between games, I'm not interested. Sit your ass down for some food and leave the running for next year. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body. That's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
We welcome you back here. Rams driving, 3rd down and 8. Powell evades the sack and looks over the middle for Fisher and incomplete. We'll bring up a 4th and 8. We'll see what the Rams draw up here. Minute 55 left here in this fourth quarter. Shepherd down by 21 to East Stroudsburg, 28-7.
And on that play, Fisher's just got to settle down. Like he was in a soft spot in the zone. Powell found him, but he just kept running on that play. Once you find that little soft spot, sit down, just show the quarterback your numbers, and let him throw you a ball. That's tough. Powell rolling out to his
Powell on a
left.
4th and 7 is sacked. The ball comes out, and it's recovered by ESU at the 35-yard line. Would have been a turnover on downs either way. But the East Stroudsburg defense getting after it throughout this one. Looked like Davis perhaps off the edge making the play. Excuse me. That was with the sack, Reynolds.
Yeah. The big redshirt freshman, the big tall guy on the edge.
I don't have a number 8, but I believe that's who made the recovery.
That was Skelly fell on the ball.
Oh, okay.
But if you combine his numbers, it comes up to 8.
I saw 8 celebrating, so I thought maybe he had done something.
Well,
He was
8's just a happy guy.
He's just a happy guy. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. His team's winning 28-7. So, but that's pretty much it now at this point. And East Stroudsburg just needs to run out the clock. Shepherd may or may not burn those timeouts. I don't really see a reason to, as Mills nearly ran out of bounds. So that was kind of a weird run, but he gets about a yard on the play and stays in bounds. So, clock will roll. Shepherd's not going to burn the timeouts, down 28-7. Gain about 1 on the play. So, the Rams are going to fall to 500. 5-5 on the year. East Stroudsburg will jump back up to 9-1 now on the season. And Shepherd will head to Seton Hill next week.
And East Stroudsburg, we've seen some good football teams this year following Shepherd. East Stroudsburg is as complete a football team as you're going to find in a PSAC.
Whistles, or we could have had a big run for Crawford there, but flag before the play.
I mean, you got depth and talent in the backfield, a quality quarterback, some outstanding talent out wide, good offensive line. The defense is very good in athletics. Special teams has made plays for them today. So just, again, this is a well-rounded, well-built football team.
Yeah, from everything I heard heading into the week, Shepherd didn't seem as concerned about their defense. They felt like they could do some good things against them, but that hasn't been the case here today. So, not that they felt like it was a bad unit, but, a lot of the talk was more so about their offense and what they were going to do offensively. So, it just appears maybe the Rams just haven't been able to match up with anybody like they used to this year in the PSAC, where maybe you would give them advantages in certain spots, and that's just not been the case. Injuries on the offensive line don't hurt or don't help. Crawford on the carry there, he appears to be shaken up. Second to last play of the game, so that's never a good thing to see.
And you mentioned that the injuries on the O-line and your offense that's going to be more reliant on getting productivity out of your running game. So that's definitely a gut punch to the offenses, where one of your strengths, something that you was looking forward to, all those returners coming back, and you're really not able to piece that. And then you go through the course of the year where you're just shuffling in different people in different places all year long, and it's just difficult to establish that chemistry over the course of a season.
McTaggart will take the kneel down, and that will do it. East Stroudsburg 28, Shepherd 7, our final score. The Rams again will fall to 5-5. ESU is 9-1, and probably a win away from the postseason. But we'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the Palace Lounge post-game show. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
It's the post-game show as we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
We welcome you in here to the Palace Lounge post-game show. The Palace Lounge is located on Edward Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Let's go ahead and jump into our post-game show. We'll start with the stats today. Take a look at East Stroudsburg first. McTaggart goes 17 of 23. For 196 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. He also added a rushing touchdown as well. He did throw an interception. For the wide receivers, for ESU, Siggins 5 catches, 85 yards. That's what he had at halftime, and that's what he finishes with. Roche, 3 catches for 44 yards and 2 scores. Brandon, 3 catches for 24 yards. Those were your leading receivers. On the ground, Lewis finishes the day, 15 carries, 60 yards, and a score. McTaggart, as I mentioned, he had a rushing touchdown as well as 6 carries for 43 yards. Mills goes 8 carries for 24 yards on the ground. Defensively, for East Stroudsburg, it was a good day. Smith led the way in tackles with 12 of them. And then the sack category, you had 2 from Hayward, 1 from Booker, 1 from Skelly, and 1 from Reynolds, including that forced fumble there at the end. You also broke up a few passes. You didn't force any interceptions, but you did force 2 fumbles on the day and were able to recover those. For the Shepherd offense, some of these numbers are going to look pretty good, but at the end of the day, just 7 points to show for it. 17 of 21 was like Powell, which is 81%. But he threw for just 116 yards on his 17 completions, including a touchdown. Cam Dorner, 6 catches, 35 yards, leads the way for the Rams. Malachi Brown, 4 for 28. Barry Hill, 3 for 25. And the touchdown, Fisher has 2 for 16. Taylor, 2 for 12. Barnett ran the ball 8 times for 55 yards. Swinehart ran it 11 for 44. Brown ran it 8 for 36. None of them, though, getting into the end zone. You actually had 3 fumbles on the day. One by Barry Hill, one by Ryan Barrick on that punt, and one by Lek Powell. So 3 turnovers for the Shepherd Rams offense as well. And then finally, we'll give you a few team stats to kind of get an overall look at it. The Rams and the Warriors almost had the same amount of first downs, 17 for ESU, 15 for Shepherd. You only ended up running the ball for 3 yards per carry, but a lot of that kind of skewed due to some sacks that we mentioned earlier. So the running backs did a little bit better than that on the designed runs. Possession time ended up being kind of even. Shepherd finishes 3 for 12 on third down. 5 of 11 was East Stroudsburg. Rams get about 4 yards per play. East Stroudsburg gets about 6. So those were some of the team stats. Overall, your post-game stats are brought to you by RAI Properties, LLC, servicing the tri-state area. Call 304-200-3144. Visit www.raiproperties.com. Travis, your thoughts on this one?
Again, we knew East Stroudsburg's offense was going to be tough to stop. The Rams' defense, I felt, did enough to keep Shepherd in the game, but they were going to need some help from some other areas. The special teams was able to supply a big play at one point to help set up Shepherd's only score on offense. It was just the offense wasn't able to get on track. Again, they had some sporadic success here and there, but nothing that they were able to sustain, just having difficulty marching the field. And then once they get behind the chains, the East Stroudsburg pass rush really did a good job of keeping pressure on Lek Powell, flushing him out of the pocket, and at that point, he really didn't have any open options down the field. It was nice to see Shepherd's offense trying to incorporate more intermediate targets for Powell to try to find over the middle. They had some success doing that. That was nice to see them doing some more of that moving forward with the last remaining game, but just the offense not able to put up enough points for them to have a competitive shot at today's game. And East Stroudsburg, they're rolling. They're just a team that is just they're built to make a special run this year, and just Shepherd's just not in that place this year to compete against a team like that.
So Shepherd will head on the road next week to face off against Seton Hill. Shepherd has only played Seton Hill once back in 2019. It was a 56-24 win for the Rams. Seton Hill ends up falling today or will probably lose against Slippery Rock. It's now 38-20. It was, though, close at one point. Let's get into some post-game awards and wrap it up. Our electrifying play of the game, which is brought to you by CMA's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg. Stop in and see them today at 48 Kelly Island Road, or call 304-263-8821. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
All right, so you said play of the game? We're going to do play of the game?
Yeah, we don't have a catch of the game, I don't believe. So
okay. I'll do play of the game. Play of the game, Evan Roche, the acrobatic catch there in the fourth quarter, right around the 10-18 mark. Again, just they had to go to the replay, so we had a chance to watch it quite a few times, and just he was able to make an athletic one-handed catch, and then just with his body just able just to maintain that type of control and get both feet in bounds. That would have been a catch on Saturdays or Sundays. So my play of the game is going to go to Evan Roche on that big touchdown catch that he had there in the fourth quarter.
All right, collision of the game brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced, certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page.
And my big hit of the game, there's a lot of hard hits going on out there today, but the biggest hit to me was Raymond Simmons when he came up and practically cut Cam Dorner in half in the third quarter. He was doing that shallow crosser. You know, a lot of times they'll tell those linebackers, you have anybody crossing in front of your face, you put them on their can, and that's exactly what Simmons did on that play as Dorner was trying to come across the field. And Dorner's dangerous with the run after the catch, but not so much on that play. Raymond Simmons will get my collision of the game.
Finally, the player of the game, which is brought to you by CMA's Martinsburg and Winchester dealerships, proud to be the owners who just care more.
And my player of the game is going to go to East Stroudsburg quarterback Sean McTaggart, the redshirt junior, 6'2", 205, had 196 yards passing today, completed nearly 74% of his passes, had 2 touchdowns. He did throw the 1 pick, and he also had a rushing touchdown. The Rams defense did a good job of not allowing him to be too comfortable, but he was comfortable enough to make some big plays that powered that East Stroudsburg offense. And my play of the game is going to be East Stroudsburg quarterback Sean McTaggart.
All right, that'll do it for us. For Colin McLaughlin, our producer, Travis Smith, I'm Nick Verzolini. Rams lose 28-7 here today to East Stroudsburg. Back on the road next week against Seton Hill. But that will do it for us here today. And thank you for tuning in. Have a good rest of your weekend, everyone. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
You've been watching coverage of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd Rams in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's coverage is brought to you by
Orsini's Home Store, Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Cody's Auto Body, The Palace Lounge, CMA Honda, the Berkeley County Health Department, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Hagerstown Ford, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, CMA Chrysler Dodge, WVU East, the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, RAI Properties, Parsons Ford, Rocks, John Hardy, Gary Kelly Allstate, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's game. All rights reserved.